Midnight music. 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 Midnight music.
Such a loud pop. It's like it has to be the. I know I wasn't here last week, but it has to be like the greatest, one of the greatest pops ever.
It might be.
Like when you think of loud pops, you think of Austin and Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Mick Foley won the title. And then Sammy. That's really the first two that come to mind when I think
Well, I
of
mean,
pop.
anytime Austin comes,
Anytime the glass breaks.
anytime the
Yeah.
glass breaks, Austin coming out of Mania 32 was a huge one.
Yeah.
No, Taekwon, do not encourage him.
No. I'll say that N-word. How about that? No.
Oh my God! Also, what is it? What was also a big pop? Edge spearing Jeff Hardy.
Edge's comeback, first of all.
Edge's comeback also.
Cena at the Rumble, 2008.
Yes, that's a big one.
That was a big pause. But honestly, this...
Yeah, the
I had to cut it off at 10 seconds because it just kept going.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah. I had to cut it off and fade it in 10 seconds because the pop is just so fucking loud. Granted, it's like 50,000 people.
Yeah.
But
It's like 55.
Is it a dome?
It's,
is it a dome
yeah,
building?
it's the Alamo Dome is a dome, yes.
Okay, so I don't dome.
Yeah,
duh.
Alamo Dome.
So that helps too.
You know what I found really
But-
funny about the Royal Rumble presentation? The fake pyro on the outside.
You know what's funny? Because I was thinking this pyro has to be fake. Because I was watching the traffic and no one was swerving off the road.
I caught it, like, I saw the pixelation. I was like, you lying motherfuckers.
I mean, it makes sense that I feel like they unless it's an open dome, yeah, all of it's fake because.
Well, no, in New Orleans, I think they did it.
Maybe
when we were there.
Wait, that wasn't off a highway.
Yeah, it's not that close to the highway. I get that.
Like, yeah, that literally, because I was like, damn, these cars are just like way too calm for explosions coming off a building.
They probably were not allowed. There probably some zoning law or something.
I mean, it's Texas though, dude. Explosions in Texas are like
also very true.
Barbecue in Texas.
Yeah, also very true. So I don't know how that went at all.
So, Taquan, I'm glad you like my hat.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I was like, what the hell happened? But
I got this hat for free. So
how'd you get it?
It was part of a gift bag.
They gave you a fishing hat with a gift bag? What kind of conference was
this?
this?
Here's what I got. So part of like the welcome bag for the conference.
Yeah.
It was the bag itself is like an igloo cooler.
Okay.
It's like insulated, so it can fit like 24 beers and like food and shit.
All right, not bad.
So in that, I got the hat.
Mm-hmm.
I got like suntan lotion.
You need it.
And like beach balm stuff or whatever.
Okay.
Like a little flag thing from the company. And salt. It was like sea salt with rosemary and another thing with lime.
Okay.
So it was pretty cool. It's pretty great.
All right, so you can season your stuff with some sea salt. It's great.
Yep. I go to the beach. I don't put in the suntan lotion. I put on the salt.
That'll do the trick.
And then the seagulls eat me and they explode.
Of course.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works.
This is it's my first show from the new office too. It's a little echoey in here.
You sound pretty fine to me.
I mean, the ceiling's the highest, a little echoey, but I can still an effect on audition and take care of it.
Well, yeah, I don't hear re-echo at all, so I think you'll be good.
Yeah. Well.
That's good. Mr. Fretz, sorry, I know you're a little bit under the weather, but how are you feeling?
Yeah, Fretz, I'm glad you're feeling better than Jerry Lawler.
Yeah. Yeah, that's disheartening.
Man, the guy had a fucking heart attack and a stroke. Next thing you know, he's gonna have Bell's palsy.
No. Although I had that happen to a client of mine once.
But they had Bell's palsy.
Yeah, but the symptoms of Bell's palsy are also pretty much equal to a stroke.
Yeah,
they're like the same thing.
Paralyzed.
Yeah. And so it happened, and he was like, Ricky, I think I got an issue. And I was like, I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute. And then I got my boss, and I was like, hey, can you look at this guy for me? And then we sat him down, and he like, my boss leaves the room, and he looks at me, and he goes, call an ambulance right now. And I was like, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It ended up being Bell's palsy. Although, like I said, it mimics the symptoms of a stroke, so I was like, holy shit. It's just...
Yeah, strokes are bad, okay?
Yeah. Bret Hart's had, what, like 2 of them?
I think Goldberg gave him, like, at least 3.
If you listen to what Bret Hart says, yes, maybe.
If it's the most bitter man on the planet.
Oh, man. So March 11th, Will, I don't know if you know this. You ever hear of the big event in New York City?
No.
It's like it happens at LaGuardia Plaza in Queens. It's called the big event. It's essentially just like this very lower key, like, con, essentially, but every time at the big event, they usually have WWE superstars come and do signings and photos and shit. So the people showing up are Charlotte Flair.
Damn.
Edge.
Damn.
And Cody, because
damn,
Cody.
How expensive that was.
It's less than 100 for any of them, actually.
I mean, to book all of them.
Oh, to book them. Oh. Well, WWE's autographs and photos go through Fitterman Sports Group now. Like, they partner with a company.
That makes sense.
Instead of doing what they did the last time we were at Access together. Or just like a free for all. Well, Axe is completely different now. Going to the hood. It's not the hood. It's Queens. It depends on what part of Queens, though.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on what part of Queens.
Yeah, it's what is it? Let me just look it in because I sent it to the Queen actually. LaGuardia Plaza. So it's on
LaGuardia.
Ditmars.
Hey, LaGuardia and around LaGuardia is an absolute dump.
But I've heard Terminal 2 is so dope.
The new terminal in Newark is actually really cool.
Really?
I got off the plane. I was walking. I was like, "Oh yeah, it's the new terminal.
We need more.
It's pretty."
We need more strong black men like Cody.
There's a Shake Shack.
There's a Shake Shack.
Yeah, there's like 2 Shake Shacks.
Was there a
in the
burger
terminal.
like what, $12 in there?
Probably more, probably 15.
Ugh.
Yeah, so like I stayed at the Fountain Blue in Miami. A muffin
Again?
for breakfast was $8. Yeah, same conference as last year. It's the
Okay.
Fountain Blue again, but the prices were more. So get this, like I get there. You know, everything's comped because it's for work.
Yeah.
I get there, I go into my room, I'm hungry, and like I take a bag of Snickers and a bag of gummy bears.
What type
and
of
a
gummy
bag of
bears? Like regular
Skittles.
gummy bears?
Delicious gummy bears. Let me tell you, brother, they're really good gummy bears. 8 bags. And I ate the whole thing of Snickers, but then I was like, okay, I'm actually hungry.
Yeah.
I just need something in my stomach so I can pop a Tylenol and get like a headache away.
Of course.
So I go to the bar, and I got a burger and a Pepsi, and it was $50.
A burger and a
burger and a Pepsi was $50 with the taxes, tip, and a service charge.
Whew.
So a burger was $50. And the next morning for breakfast,
Was that burger any good whatsoever?
yeah, it was great.
Okay.
It was a pretty good burger. Not worth $50.
All right.
Don't get me wrong, but it was a tasty burger.
Okay.
And then the next morning, I get an $8 blueberry muffin and an $8 bottle of water, which is Fiji water. I was like, that doesn't make sense. But okay, I'm not paying for it.
All right. Water aside, because Fiji water is overrated in my opinion. How was that muffin? Because I do love me a good blueberry muffin.
Honestly, it's not worth $8, but it was tasty. It
Okay.
was
All
delicious.
right. As long, whatever. It'll pass.
I got room service. I got chicken parm, the chicken parm is really good. Like, restaurants in Fountain Blue are actually really, really good.
Yeah.
So the chicken parm with the delivery and the whatever was $60, but I was like, all right, that's like still not worth it, but it was really, really good. And room service is pretty fucking awesome.
Did you?
They just knock on your door and like, there's food here.
So you should have hit up Mario.
I forgot he was down there. I don't think I have his number anymore.
Yeah.
Other than that, like after the conference, we went to like a pool hall and got beer and played pool.
Of course. No
That was-
Wagyu steak this time.
No Wagyu steak, no $1,000 steak, and then we went out to eat at the Spanish place last night,
Yeah.
and we just got a shit ton of apps, and it was really good, and the cocktails were really good.
I bet.
It's always fun. Honestly, it's really fun getting drunk with your boss, and especially when she's drunker than you.
And you'd have to pay for nothing.
I had to pay for nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, I saw the bill. I was like, God damn. And they're like, Will, you want to spend on the cabana? Like, this means nothing. And I was like, oh, really? I'm gonna go eat another bag of come.
Exactly.
Like, well, it means nothing. All right.
If
Like,
you don't care, I don't care.
yeah, if you don't care, I don't care. My room was $1,600. That's what the final bill came to. I was like, not my card. So
That's amazing.
yeah, that was cool.
I stayed when I went to a fraternity conference back in college that I pulled me. I'm a poor college kid card, so they paid for my flight and the hotel
Yep.
that I was staying in.
Yep.
Like the Nationals paid for it.
Yep. Yeah, we had that too. They took the national meeting once a year in Florida.
I went to
Yeah.
ours was in Memphis, which wasn't bad actually. So I stayed at the Peabody. The Peabody is like the only 5-star hotel in Memphis because of course it's fucking Memphis. And that day,
Taquan putting that in our this picture of Cody.
wait, did he put it in there?
He put it in
Let
Discord
me
in the
see.
General King's talk.
Let me see.
The funniest things I've ever seen.
Listen. There's a whole thing of calling Cody Rhodes Reverend Rhodes.
Oh my god.
There's a bunch of funny shit. Oh my god, it's great. Anywho, so the Peabody that time I went, was also the same weekend that like Elvis Presley's widow was staying there. As well, but it's one of the coolest hotels I've ever been at. Peabody, they have this thing with the Peabody Hotel where there's like these ducks. It's like the famous Peabody ducks, and they like get processed into the fountain that's in the middle of the lobby. on a red carpet in like to begin the day and to end the day. They roll out.
And they're ducks.
Yeah, they
like quack.
So here's what happens: the elevator comes down. They roll out a red carpet. The ducks walk out of the elevator. They go into the pond. To like trumpet processional, by the way. They're in the pond for the whole day. Towards once it's time for them to go back to wherever the fuck they stashed them, they get processed out again. The ducks process out of the fountain on the red carpet back into the elevator, and they're gone. And it's like that's the thing of the hotel.
It's really weird.
Although the first time I ever stayed like a really legit 5-star, except that one time when I was in Italy. But like I had my own personal robe. I got the newspaper every morning.
Dude, I thought about calling for a robe because I know they have them. I just got to call for them.
Oh, mine was in my room.
I really thought about it. They should have been in the room. I really thought about it, but I really thought about it, but I didn't.
So
because I was looking around. I was like, I don't have room in my bag for this.
And that's
if I got a robe.
And at the time, I was like 20, but like I was with people from for frat boys or frat friend, but brothers from all across the nation. And I befriended some guys from like George Washington University chapter, and we all went out to this place. I think it's called Kooky Canucks. It was seen on Man vs. Food for like having the biggest burgers. One of those giant burger challenges, and like all the brothers like bought one. See if anybody could finish it.
Our brothers from Johnson and Wales in Providence, JWU, they knew how to party.
Yeah, no,
They knew how to party, and drugs were cheap up there.
Yeah, no, I wasn't allowed to go out on the Beale Street. Like I went to Beale Street, but I couldn't go anywhere because I was 20, clearly. But like. There was like one of the national reps where they like just essentially pulled out the black card out of the bar everybody was at, and like everybody just fucking drank for free.
Yep. Remember, fraternities are businesses.
Yeah, no, our headquarters are right outside of Memphis. We're right next to the Kappa Deltas, which I know is not on your campus. We're right by. We're like it's literally in a row. There's our fraternity, there's Kappa Delta, and then there's Alpha Chi Omega, which is another sorority. They're all in like the same vicinity of each other. Which is pretty nuts. Absolutely nuts.
I have no idea where TEP's Nationals headquarters is. I totally don't remember.
Yeah, no. I will say I went to a regional in Philly. That was fun because the Philly chapter, I think it was the Drexel chapter, really like hooked everybody up. Drexel had like essentially the conference after party at one of their houses on their frat row in Philly. And what they did is they printed out or they got the entire roster of all the brothers that were actually in attendance at the conference. And so that's how you got into the party.
This is bullshit, man!
They're like, oh, no, sorry, you're not on the list. You're not a brother. You don't get in. So that's how it was. I was like, wow. Their trophy room was legit, too. Like, one of the rooms in the house was legitimately just the trophy room of everything they won.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, dude, they're frats. Of course, there's got to be trophies somewhere.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. I missed it.
Some of them are probably fake trophies, too.
Yeah, no, that was a...
Still frat boys at the end of the day.
That's true. No, that was a crazy fucking time. Because then we actually... Because there was another chapter on, like, the upper side at UPenn. I think we went to UPenn. We went from, like, Drexel to, like, UPenn to, like, that chapter's house, too. We just kept on, like, hopping. Because there's, like, four chapters in Philly. So... Crazy time, and we're gonna hop around Philly again next year.
Dude, I can't wait. it's gonna be a good time. I was telling my friend from work. It was like, "You going to WrestleMania next year?" She's like, "Where is it?" I'm like, "Oh, you don't know." It's like you really don't watch WWE anymore. You just watch AEW. I go, "It's in Philly." She goes, "Oh, god damn it!" I'm like, she's like, "And it's WrestleMania 40," and she's like, "Oh." And I was like, yeah, all the money I'd pay on a flight, I'm paying on tickets. And she goes, like,
yeah,
I might have to go.
It's easily, that's easily be like, hey, I'm outside, get in the fucking car, let's go.
Yeah.
We've got 2 hours to kill.
It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait.
Oh my god, yeah, no, it's going to be a knucking futz time. The biggest question is, how many people will be with us? That is the massive question.
How many people do we want?
That's true. And ideally, if it all works...
You get a box?
What's up?
Get a box?
Well, yes, ticket-wise, potentially. There's a couple things I want to do for that Mania. Number one, I want to go to their Mania, like, ticket release party. Because I've never been to one. The one time I was going to go in New York...
Is that, like, at the stadium?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
when like you get your first dibs on tickets. They have a bunch of celebrities show up and signings and a couple of like faux matches and shit. The one time I did want to go, there was a massive nor'easter snowstorm, so they canceled it, and it didn't happen. So I've always wanted to go. So that's one. And number two, I kind of want the same place that we had for
Dude, that
for
place
the Rumble.
was dope. That place was so awesome.
Because you know what? It's right by Reading Terminal Market. I can legitimately just leave my car in that parking garage for like a whole week.
Yeah.
And whatever, pay that shit later.
It's in the gay neighborhood, so it's safe and clean.
Yeah, it's the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's the gayborhood.
Mitchell and
like
Ness's-
Ubers were super easy in and out, getting to the stadium and the arena.
Mitchell and Ness is right there.
Mitchell Ness is right there.
And so is Reading Terminal Market. We can walk 2 blocks and eat whatever the
And
fuck
the
we
food,
want.
dude, that Reading Terminal Market is just like, God, if the zombie apocalypse ever happened, I'd go there.
That's where all the food is and boarded up.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, no, it's going to be a knucking futz time. Absolutely knucking futz time. But hold on, let me queue up what the hell I'm supposed to say for this intro before we get started, because we are going to kind of actually start on time for once, which is a great thing.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, Mance has also said he's readily available whenever we need him as well.
Dude, I'm so bummed I missed Mance's show. I was so fucking mad my internet wasn't set up properly.
He's still got it.
Of course he does. Dude. It's fucking, he's a gift of podcast. Of course he's still got
He
it.
was wearing his Gift the Podcast shirt, and he did a virtual
Hey, man,
virtual background.
You can't get something you never lost.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Edge said on Monday?
But I mean, in between him slapping his wife's ass, which
hey.
which was also hysterical. Did you catch that?
No, I saw it on Twitter.
she looks at him. She's like, "Stop it!" Oh my god! At least Edge loves his wife. I feel like they're a hysterical couple.
Oh yeah, imagine being their kids.
Oh yeah, the 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could.
Let me just
only
tell you,
imagine.
man, I would not want to walk in on them fucking. That's for damn sure. Probably terrifying. So veiny and muscular and
You know, I'd be scared of
Aggressive.
before we get started. I'd be scared if Beth Phoenix got mad if I was like her child.
just the glam slam on her kids.
Like, I don't think like I feel like Edge is the pushover. I feel like Beth like runs the house with an iron fist.
Oh, Dom taking the glam slam and yelling "mommy" was just fucking hilarious.
Did
by the
you
way.
see the sign above Dom?
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
Nailed it.
yeah, I was like, wow, placement. If I knew better, you'd be a plant.
Dude, the tribal queef was also really funny at Rumble, and the WrestleZania sign for Rumble was also amazing.
Did you also see on Raw this week the QR code?
I did. It was like someone's restaurant, right?
No, it's the guy who does like interior, like wall, like it's like wall design or something, like in kitchen design or some shit. I was like, wow,
what it
you
was.
smart motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, because they can't. WWE can't take it away because
No one knows
what
it
the QR
is.
code is. No one knows what it is.
That's a smart fan right there. Anyway, are you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it to it.
Let's do it. Give me a countdown, sir.
Let me start rolling. We're rocking and we're rolling
Yeah.
in 5, 4, 3, 2. Let me start recording on the mixer too. That back up.
Yes, please.
Midnight music.
Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, the Cody Rhodes to WrestleMania takes a revealing twist after an all-time epic promo with the Mr. Paul Heyman. Plus, Roman gets a little InZayn in the membrane, and Brock Lesnar is apparently extremely frugal. So sit back, relax, and I swear to God, if I get another text message about LeBron breaking the all-time scoring record, I am going to break my phone, Jordan, all day. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 327. Pull back the curtain exclusively on Wrestle Addict Radio, and it starts right now. Oh my God, Taquan, that is horrible, but I kind of also semi-agree with you on that. And Michael Jordan's still to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode 327. Pull back the curtain. I am your host, King Ricky Rose. Just a two-man show today. Obviously, Kay is on a little bit of a Legends contract sabbatical, and we really didn't want to find a guest. We're just going to kick it with a little bit of old school, but just us guys here. So with me here for his first appearance during Black History Month. And by the way, Wakanda Forever is now streaming, so you have no excuse.
That is true.
Back from his fishing trip in Miami. That's what we're going to say, everybody. Will Tereshak.
I was hunting gators.
How are you, Will? I'm
good, man. I actually do have one thing to say about that LeBron thing.
Yeah.
So I saw a tweet, or it's like a story. It's like Michael Jordan was asked if the '90s Bulls could beat the modern day Lakers. He's like, "No, I think it'd be a 2-point game." He's like, "Well, in the '60s now." And I was like, "Oh god damn, that is some fucking shade." Also, probably accurate. Scottie Pippen over the guy with the unibrow all day.
Anthony Davis is fragile as all hell. He does like the Floridian Charles. Welcome, Sir Charles. Floridian.
Go DeSantis.
Oh, do not stop.
Don't cut that out of context.
Do not.
It's funny because my mom's maiden name is DeSantis. I have to go no relation.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my mom's maiden name is DeSantis. Like if anyone ever asks, I have to go. Yeah, it's DeSantis, no relation.
Nice. Good. Distance yourself, please. Please distance yourself from that maniac. In and of itself. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kings of the Rings podcast. We're going to pull back the curtain a little bit, but not really. It's probably going to be a shorter show this week, maybe because there wasn't really much to talk about, but the things we are going to talk about are going to be a little bit big. And actually, I have a little bit of a good little discussion that I think we can get into towards the latter half of the show. But before that, some quick news and notes. First being, by the way, SummerSlam's coming. SummerSlam is announced and it's going to go to Ford Field in Detroit. If anybody doesn't know where Ford Field is, I don't blame you because no one watches the Detroit Lions to begin with. But that's where the football team in Detroit plays. But last time I think WWE even had an event at Ford Field was WrestleMania. So they are going very, very big again. SummerSlam in Detroit, August 5th, Saturday, August 5th. Tickets go on sale, I believe, April 14th. So a couple of days after WrestleMania. So SummerSlam, I'm pretty excited for this. I'm halfway considering maybe making the trek to Detroit. It's not that bad. Because I've never been to Detroit before. Also a good place where I know a lot of Canadians that actually go to Detroit because it's literally like right by the border of Canada too. But SummerSlam, August 5th. What do you think, Will?
Well, if the Tigers are in town, I think it's worth doing a dual. I think it's worth doing a dual trip.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's really the only way I would go.
I don't like the Tigers, but I know that stadium's kind of dope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the Tigers, but I love baseball, and it's an excuse to go to a game that's probably really cheap because it's the fucking Tigers.
Yeah, no one signed up. Did Mickey retire yet?
Yeah, I think it's this year.
Okay, we might want to go.
I don't know I don't know if him and Pujols did the same year. I don't know because he didn't get as much pump and circumstance as Midgie, Pujols and Yachty did.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't be surprised if he has one more year left.
I would go just to see Mickey.
But I don't think there's been anything ever in the history of ever that's made me go, you know what? Let's go to Detroit, and that might be including SummerSlam. So, but we'll see. I mean, especially because it's gonna be like right after it's after this Mania the tickets go on sale.
Yeah, April 14th.
All right, so I'm not going to see his Mania, but I might have some cash.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
We'll see
what my cash is like.
Agreed. We'll have to see at that point. But yeah, SummerSlam Detroit. I'm interested. Might as well. Oh, I've actually heard about Ford Field. We'll talk about it on the post show. Their technology is kind of nuts that they've made upgrades in Ford Field for, but that's another conversation for another time.
Does your food come in drones?
No. It's a very interesting surveillance technology.
That sounds terrifying.
A little bit, but it's also very cool in another sense. What was not cool was that, unfortunately, we heard, I think Tuesday afternoon, that Jerry Lawler suffered a stroke and was recovering from the after effects of a stroke. From what I've also read, unfortunately, it's his second stroke in 5 years.
Oof, that's not good.
And everybody who's anybody in wrestling also famously knows that Jerry Lawler suffered a heart attack on Monday Night Raw. And if it wasn't for let's be truthful here. If it wasn't for number one Michael Cole realizing and getting help, Jerry Lawler's dead on national TV.
Isn't it crazy? Like someone who never smokes, never drinks, and like never did anything bad to his body other than wrestle is had more health problems than fucking Ric Flair.
They do have one thing in common though, is that they go through women like crazy.
Yeah, but he doesn't have STDs.
True.
Like
True.
there's fucking too much give you probably give your heart attack for sure. But
No,
give you a
it should be good for your heart. It's cardiovascular exercise.
Yeah, not if you do it too
Well,
much.
if you do it, yeah. Well, no, you gotta be consistent with it. Any cardio is good cardio. I feel like.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, it's a damn shame, man. Jerry the King is one of those guys that's like he's a favorite. He's a favorite. He's a spoiled favorite.
Perfected pretty much one of the greatest storylines of all time, because it was no one knew if it was real or not. It's him and Andy Kaufman. That's legendary.
Yeah, it is.
It's absolutely legendary.
He really is like the best color commentator ever.
Yeah.
Like, name me a better color commentator than Jerry Lawler.
You can argue Heenan.
You can't argue Heenan.
You can argue Heenan.
Okay, you can argue Heenan. Okay, but you know what? Heenan might just be too old at this point, because Heenan was big in the 80s and the early 90s, whereas Lawler was popped off during the Attitude Era into the Ruthless Aggression Era, which is the biggest generations of wrestling period.
Yeah.
Like, Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression is bigger than the 80s Hogan boom.
Yeah.
And Lawler was wrestling then.
Yeah, Lawler's wrestling for a long time.
Yeah, he wrestled not too long ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got a picture of Lawler, but we were there when we met Lawler in New Orleans at WrestleCon.
Yeah, super sweet
Very
guy.
nice guy.
He's a sweet
hell
man.
of a drawer. Like he's a hell of an artist. You ever seen someone like he's crazy gifted as an artist.
He was really good on the Broken Skull sessions too.
I had not seen that one.
Yeah, well, go back and watch it, because it's he's really good. He's very soft spoken. He's very well spoken, and he's very honest about like his life and things. Like remember the early aughts. He like quit WWE for a little bit because his wife at the time was fired.
Yeah, that was the cat.
The cat. Yeah, so like he talks about that and like what it's like, all these years later and with the mistakes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But man's lived a hell of a life. I know we're talking about like he's dead, but no, he's gonna be just fine. He's recovering.
Yeah.
I know he has he has limited speech right now.
From what I heard, I think JR posted that he was somewhat of a slurred limited speech, but I know reports now came out before we did our show, but he's expected to make a full recovery, which is a very good sign.
Glad to see he kicked out.
He's good. And like I think I want to emphasize here about, you said Lawler's very soft spoken, because the Jerry the King thing is literally just a gimmick. He's not that guy.
That's it is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like Ric Flair lives the gimmick. Jerry Lawler's kind of the opposite.
Correct. Yeah.
Like as soon as the camera's off, he's just like, all right, I can go back to being Jerry, or whatever the hell his real name is.
I think it is Jerry.
I think it is Jerry Lawler. I think his name is Jerry Lawler.
The King part, I think, is what he trademarked or copyrighted or whatever it was. Ric Flair's name is even Ric Flair if you watch the recent documentary.
It's Fred Phillips. That took me I was shook.
That's what they started the documentary out with. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm not gonna lie, dude. It got my attention. I was like, all right, I'm gonna actually put the phone down. I'm gonna actually watch this shit. And the rest was just I knew all of this, other than the struck by lightning. I didn't know he was got struck by lightning.
Ric Flair is one of those guys. I don't see how he still does it.
I don't know how he's alive. He shouldn't be alive. He doesn't know how he's alive.
No, he admits it, because I should have been dead.
I should have died like 30 years ago.
He does more cardio than me probably on the regular, which is kind of nuts. And you see him at the end, he was doing like rows. And I'm like, dude, you're like 70. What are you doing?
Yeah.
All right, dude. But hey, long live the King, hopefully, and Ric Flair. Fuck it, Ric Flair's earned his time to relax.
So we ever find out what Hulk Hogan is? He actually paralyzed?
No, I think Hulk is just old, because Hulk's almost like 70,
he's just milking it.
No, maybe he does have some struggle walking here and there, but that's expected for someone that age.
Fair enough. I hope he's not paralyzed.
Yeah. Let's move on to the only noteworthy thing in SmackDown, and there's that as well. Yes. Why does this picture look like Roman Reigns talking to his drunk son after a night out?
No, it's Solo.
But yeah, I love what they're doing with this because essentially when you're going into Mania season, but you have the stopgap at Elimination Chamber, which seems like a really big deal because it's in Canada, and of course they're highlighting all of our Canadian superstars because that's just smart business.
Yep.
And they're juggling this real well where Roman, and no pun intended, is acknowledging that Cody exists, but they're not touching. And Roman still...
Well, he's got business
Yeah,
first.
and he's dealing with the Sammy issue. And listen, after this past week of wrestling, there were some arguments for Sammy somehow being in this main event with Roman at WrestleMania. That's all gone. I'm sorry. It's all gone.
I've thought about it. This is what I would do. If you want to give Sammy his due justice in main eventing WrestleMania, which I think he should. I really do think he should. I think him and Kevin Owens could main event the tag titles night one.
That's fine.
I think and you can have Charlotte and Rio kick off the show because that's just as big of a spot.
Yeah, you either want to be the first or the last.
Yeah, listen, I understand that people want Sammy to main event WrestleMania. I want Sammy to main event WrestleMania, but it's Cody's spot. This was always Cody's spot. If anything, it's not like Batista taking Daniel Bryan's spot. This is Sami Zayn taking Cody's spot.
Yeah, and Cody called it the day after WrestleMania last year.
Yeah, and I think listen, the Bloodline is still main event. They're the main event. Sami's been the main event for the past year with the Bloodline.
Yeah.
I think that the tag belts that the Usos, which is also the Bloodline, main eventing night one with Kevin Owens, who main evented last year night one, I think is very believable. And I think that's a way that the fans can take a little bit of heat off of Cody and just put the heat also on Sammy because he's super fucking over.
Yeah. Well, Sammy's getting his main event spot in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, where he's from. That place is going to explode at the first sign of him potentially beating Roman. Because Roman's very good at false finishes. And that first false finish is going to explode that arena.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Sammy, I don't think WWE is doing Sammy dirty in any way, shape, or form.
No, not at all.
It's tough because how do you make it that they don't boo Cody? If Sammy's getting beat down, does Cody come in for a save after
Here's
the
my
match?
thing. I think Cody is nowhere near this pay-per-view. I wouldn't put Cody in. I wouldn't put Cody in a match. I wouldn't even have him appear. I think you have Cody go all roads to WrestleMania. He doesn't need Elimination Chamber. Serves him no purpose. Nothing he can do at Elimination Chamber will help him at all. Elimination Chamber is where you're setting up your undercard essentially for WrestleMania and your other matches.
Yeah. I love the Chamber with the U.S. title. I think that's amazing. I think
It's
that's
a
very,
smart
very
move.
smart.
Your WrestleMania main event is set. Roman Reigns has both the titles. It's Roman versus Cody.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Unless, and like what Cody alluded to, unless Sammy wins, which is not going to happen. This is going to be clearly hometown curse because WWE is not stupid. But the fact of the matter that Sami Zayn is main eventing in his hometown, it's going to be the main event. The Elimination Chamber is not going to be the main event. Sammy main eventing against Roman in his hometown. Sammy is going to look like a megastar, more so than he already is, just because he has his hometown fans behind him.
Yeah,
it's going to be great for him.
It's going to be pretty damn close to WrestleMania moment. At least he's getting the match.
Yeah, he's getting the match. This is how you kind of pander to him, and don't be surprised if something screwy comes to happen. I think we're going to talk about this next week with our special guest next week, but I think KO saves Sammy. That's when you set up Usos versus KO, Kevin Owens and Sammy.
We still haven't seen Jay, which is wild.
That is also the wild card in all of this too.
And they're defending on Saturday, Friday.
That's true. Yeah, no, Jay is still the wild card, which is a great part of a story, but they have left open.
I think he turns on Sammy at Elimination Chamber when he comes back to the family. I mean, you have to, right? I mean, the Bloodline is still the best thing going, and this picture of Roman just yelling at Sammy, it's just Roman Reigns and Triple H yelling at the Marks. So shut the fuck up for a second.
It's also Roman being like, how dare you give me a good ass spear like that?
Yeah, it's appreciate what we're giving you and enjoy it for what it is because Cody is the guy. And Cody deserves a spot. Cody isn't Batista that's coming in and taking a spot. Cody is also super over. And we saw that on Monday. He's super fucking over.
Yeah.
And like I would be very bummed. It's like what else would Cody do? Go after Walter for an IC title and like I left AEW for this? Like you know what
Although
I mean?
Gunther's also now a made man after that Rumble. What a performance.
Yeah, no, I know. I didn't talk about the Rumble last week because I wasn't here, but yeah, Gunther, 100, an hour 11, like 71 minutes or 72 minutes, whatever it was.
An hour and 11, I believe.
Yeah, I mean the bookend Rumbles twice in one night was very ballsy by Triple H.
Mm-hmm. But there were two separate endings, which I thought were fantastic.
And 3 people went wire to wire. Liv also went wire to wire.
Liv went wire to wire too, which is good for her. Good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
You know, I think it does best for Walter. And my only concern with Mania, even though we're months at this point away from Mania, what does Gunther do?
I like what Fretz just said. Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus. I think that's a phenomenal match.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
I mean, dude, Sheamus is also the most over he's ever been.
Listen, I would love. I mean, you got to get Drew and Sheamus apart from each other because they're like the lads now. But I would love to see Gunther versus Sheamus 2 without Drew for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. That's how you get the IC title relevant again.
I think Gunther Drew is a great match, though.
I do too, but I still have Gunther Sheamus on my mind from Clash at the Castle.
That's
and
fair.
imagine.
And they did tease Brock Gunther just a little bit.
But imagine what they can do at a bigger spotlight of Mania, of Gunther and Sheamus. I would even have that start the show at one point, or put that in Show Stealer.
Yeah.
You know. Oh yeah, they did have the rematch on SmackDown. What, Gunther Sheamus 3 at Mania? Fuck it, do it. I don't care. But no, Sami and Roman is good. It makes Elimination Chamber something to watch. You know, I'm always going to be excited for the Chamber too, and I think this is the perfect placement because now after Chamber, you've got a month and a half to fix Mania if there's issues. Which so far there are no issues, especially after, I'll say it now, one of the best promos I've ever seen on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, the promo was great. Now it's like, I was wondering how are they going to build Roman Cody while Sammy's going on. And it makes sense, Roman has his hand tied with Sammy to send out Paul and Roman and Cody to spar on the mic. And I think it's very good booking. I think it makes sense.
And holy shit, what a battle.
And it was good. It was pretty good. You know why? Because it was real. It was authentic. It's a true story. I bet Dusty did have $100 to his name doing car commercials to keep the car.
That sounds like a total Dusty thing.
I mean, it's super illegal, but I'm sure they were in like Texas where who cares?
Yeah, wrestlers got away with a lot, especially if you watch Young Rock. You learn a lot about the shadiness that went on in the back. But it was fascinating to me because I'm watching this, and I think for the first time in a long time, like I don't know, because this is clearly a worked shoot. If you ever see this, it's a worked shoot. There's a lot of elements of realism, like we already said. But I think Cody broke Paul for at least a minute.
Yeah, those tears did look real. I mean, Paul was good, but he had me fooled. I was like, damn, like Paul Heyman. Like, I mean, everyone has respect for Dusty.
Yeah,
but it's just like, yeah, no, he did hit a chord.
Yeah, he hit a chord. And I wouldn't be surprised that Paul Heyman was the one to bail Dusty out because Paul Heyman is essentially what Vince McMahon was, except Vince had money and Paul did not.
Yeah, and I was like, I was waiting for Cody to say, "You promised him all this money and you didn't pay him. You fuck."
No, but he paid him.
I was waiting for that line, but no, I guess he did pay him. Well, I guess Vince paid him.
Whatever. I don't, whatever the time frame was, but
Dusty was Vince's first paid off.
Yeah. No, people, and I love how Cody went at this. I love how Cody's going at this because this is all about respect for his family and respect also for the Anoa'i family too as well. Yeah. Which is cool. So like, there's no real animosity, although Paul did kind of stir it. But this is just like two royal families going at it for supremacy, which is a great story. So I will see what happens after Chamber if everything like ramps up to 100, which it should. But this promo and
Cody's like, I just wanted to wrestle for a title.
Yeah.
That's all I
wanted.
Now
you had to talk to my dad in this. Now I'm gonna have to kill you. It was great to see that, and I love how Cody just approaches this. It's all about, I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to be as cool as possible. But now you've stirred shit up. Now I'm going to whip your ass. I love it. I love the story so far. I don't think there's going to do another promo that's going to be better than that on this build to this title because I want to see it tomorrow.
yeah, man, it's just like the more this goes on, it's just Cody said it earlier this week too. He's just like WrestleMania doesn't need The Rock. He's like, we got stars, we have enough stars
Yeah,
here.
this proved it.
And I'm just like, I was thinking about it. I was just like, well, yeah, he's right.
Look at the men's Rumble. The men's Rumble had no surprises outside of Logan Paul. They used their roster.
Booker T.
All right, Booker T. But Booker T's under
God.
contract.
Did you see Booker T's knees? He couldn't bend them.
I didn't care. Everybody knew he was there to do a spin-a-rooney. That's all everybody was there for.
Yeah, that was fine. That was fine. But you're like, okay, look at this card right now. You got Seth Logan.
But they haven't announced it, but probably going to happen, yeah.
It's going to be an amazing. He's burying him. He buried him on McAfee show too, which is pretty great. So that's going to be a hell of a match. You know, like if you got Brock Bobby, which is going to be a hell of a match.
Which we're about to talk about after this, yeah.
Like it's interesting that what these attraction matches used to be with the legend like an Undertaker is now your current roster in this set. Like who's Seth's opponent? Like, that's a big deal. Who's Brock's opponent? It's not for a title. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be Taker, but it used to be Cena.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like the guys who are currently, well, that's the exception of like Brock, it's who's active. You can even say it's who's Bobby's match.
Yeah.
Right? No Goldberg.
You don't need him.
No
you
Rock.
don't need him.
No Austin.
Don't need him either.
Like what would Austin do?
He's
jacked to the gills.
There's nothing for him to do.
Who's left?
Triple H retired. Shawn Michaels is not doing shit. There's no one left.
Oh, imagine Bray versus Stone Cold.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't like that matchup at all.
It'd be so terrible.
I don't like that matchup at all. I mean, we still don't know if Miz is going to do anything. I wouldn't be surprised if Miz takes the year off from Mania.
Miz hasn't been relevant in a long time, unfortunately.
Although you can, I don't even know what you would do. I mean, you can even do maybe. Well, they don't have nothing for the Miz, but like I would love to see Miz Johnny.
Some battle royal.
Or some battle royal, of course, obviously a pre-show battle royal, whatever. But Miz versus Boogs, that's not going to happen at Mania. Although Boogs needs a redemption after he literally blew out his knee on the first
first
match.
That's a damn shame.
He can't.
Miz and Maurice versus Johnny and Candice would be fun.
I like that.
That's fun. That's doable. Like Dexter Loomis as a ref.
Yeah. Exactly. But no, this Cody and Paul Heyman promo, people are going to be playing this for a while because these are two pros. Like I said, I've never seen anybody go toe-to-toe with Paul in a promo and hold their ground. Cody did it.
Yeah,
I was very impressed. One of the best work shoots ever. Moving on to big meaty men slapping meat, Bobby versus Brock, and another person who's learned how to cut promos in his old age, Brock Lesnar.
It was meat slapping majesty.
Yes, it was. I mean,
shout out to K
Murphy.
This promo is also funny. This the Bobby Who is just like I was like, you know who.
Know exactly.
Fuck up,
you know exactly who you're talking about.
It's just really funny how he can't say safe.
Because like I was with well, everybody knew. Orlando's pretty marked.
Oh, yeah, he was waiting for his Sable chant.
Orlando's pretty marked. Everybody knew he's stole Sable from Mark Marrow.
Yeah. Mark Marrow was just like, okay, that's fine with me.
Well, he wasn't.
What am I going to do?
Okay with it, but like I said, there's nothing he can do. He was not okay with it, but I love it. I didn't know Brock Lesnar bought $5 denim jackets. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, where do you get $5?
Where do you get
denim?
$5 any piece of clothing?
Yeah.
I want to shop where you shop, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, is he in a thrift store? Like Brock Lesnar walks into a thrift shop and that's what he buys? Okay, if he bought the denim jacket, were the sleeves attached or did he cut them off?
No, they were cut off. They were definitely cut off.
So he bought them cut off?
Yeah, he bought them cut off.
Okay.
He definitely bought them cut off. Yeah. Can you?
Yeah, Brock shops at Goodwill.
and he has the audacity to ask for all of that money, you bastard. You fucking
behind his $5 jacket said $1 million. Fuck you, Brock.
Yeah.
$1 million car. I mean, he's right, but
oh my god! Well, you know what I found out about Brock? I saw a clip of him too. He actually talks about why he doesn't do a full-time schedule.
Is it after?
Well, no, that too. But he really doesn't like crowds. He's very shy and introverted.
Yeah, he doesn't like people.
Yeah.
I did know that. Yeah,
he doesn't like crowds.
That's why,
he's like I can perform in front of
why,
people. That's fine, but like all the other stuff, like he's like That freaks me out, man. Like, gives him like really bad anxiety.
Early on in his career, he bought the private jet because he didn't like going through customs. He doesn't like people.
Yeah.
He's introverted, and like that kind of rubbed the locker room the wrong way. But like Bruce Pritchard talked about it on his podcast years ago. He's like, listen, this came out of his own pocket. Like, what do you want us to do?
Yeah, no, I can see how.
Like WWE didn't fly him around. He bought a private jet.
Yeah, and I can understand how that like rubs people the wrong way, but like that's also. It's a mental concern of his, and like you can't really battle that. Like you gotta find a way to adjust. And listen, it worked out well for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's not like Brock didn't earn his stripes. He clearly earned his stripes. Like Brock gets the business quite well. And him and Bobby are going to be fun at Mania.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun. Where you put them, I don't know. Night 1, night 2, who doesn't care? But it's going to be fun. I love how Bobby is still hinting at the Hurt Business, but not really. Like, he's dressing more proper now.
He's like, I don't want the Hurt Business, but Triple H wants the Hurt Business.
But it's happening. Because Cedric and Shelton actually won a match on Raw.
And they were in the background of Corbin breaking up with JBL.
All right. This isn't part of the outline, but still. How bad do you have to be for JBL to say, like, fuck you, I'm out?
Baron Corbin bad, apparently. And Baron Corbin sucks.
Oh, my God. I was like, wow, JBL even broke up with you? That's a shame. That is a shame. Poor Baron. But maybe we'll get a broke ass Baron Corbin. That was a fun time for like a couple months. Remember when he was broke?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was the best Baron. That was the best work
he was
ever
broke
did.
Corbin. Then they had a pay per view in Vegas. They had Money in the Bank in Vegas.
They did this Money in the Bank in Vegas. He's like, I won the lottery.
And he was happy Corbin again.
Oh my God. I mean, he's to his credit though, he's adaptable. He has had many gimmicks that he's made work.
Constable Corbin.
I forgot about Constable.
It's when he started wearing like regular like he looked like an Applebee's manager.
Yeah.
Applebee's manager Corbin. But Brock Bobby, can't wait to see what goes with that. It's just
yeah, but it's like when Brock said Elimination Chamber, I was like, that's not right.
yeah. I was like, wait a minute, don't you?
Like Brock, he's supposed to point. Didn't you read the set notes?
I also loved how on Raw that was a running joke for everybody. They could look. I'm gonna point to the side now. I was like, wow, you guys are assholes.
Yeah, just like I did the point, guys.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, Brock could probably also tease that he might be showing up at Elimination Chamber because he does reside in Canada, so might as well, right?
I love if he was just like, oh wait, did I say Elimination Chamber? I forgot. I can't travel. I can't leave the country.
Listen, at least it didn't say Money in the Bank like fucking.
That was really funny. When I went money off.
You see this crap? I was like, wow, you tried, Dan. Like, I mean, listen, 8 out of 10 on the recovery. I'll give him that.
Yeah, 8 yeah. You should have said, you know what? I'm going to win that too.
Yeah. All right, so here's the question here. Raw ended with an actually pretty brutal-ass cage match.
What the fuck is Lita doing?
That's what I wanted. I was like, oh, I popped for Lita. Like, this was a very big Raw. I was like, ooh, Lita, like, are we having one more run? Because, like, honestly, you just paid off Becky and Bayley, which I thought was going to pay off at Mania. But now Lita's in the mix. Like, what do you do with Becky, Bayley, and maybe Lita? Like, I don't...
Sex tape.
Besides that.
A second sex tape.
All right, after the third one, what do you do with them leading into Mania? This is pending Lita is coming back for one more, Mania run.
I mean, Lita and Becky kind of like sisters.
In a weird way, I can see that.
Step sisters.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I don't know. Probably go after the tag belts.
I guess.
What else are they gonna do? I mean, like it's hard to have women's matches with the not title involved at WrestleMania.
The only way you would have been able to do it is if you had Bayley and Becky, because that would have been a must-see match, I think. They did it already. So
who's Bianca go up against?
Oh, Asuka, aka Kana.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because Kana.
Are they having a women's?
Yeah, it's going to be for the number one contender for Bianca's title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
word.
Kana's winning that. I'm sorry. I'm not calling her Asuka because that is clearly Kana. During the Rumble, one of the best things I saw at the Rumble was her returning as Kana.
That was really cool. I popped for that. I'm not gonna
and
lie.
Corey Graves losing his mind.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes did like nut in his pants. Yeah, Fred, I think you're right. Ronda Shayna versus Damage Control is gonna be at Mania.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, well, fuck Ronda, dude.
Well,
Whatever.
Ronda needed some time off to cool down. That's fine. But I also, speaking of Corey Graves in the Rumble, as we did speak about this last week, but I did want your commentary on this. Corey Graves did maybe his best work in commentary at the Rumble. He was on fire.
So is Michael
They
Cole.
all were on fire. Him, Cole, and Pat.
Michael Cole is listing off those Rumble stats.
Yeah.
And they generally didn't know Pat McAfee was coming
That
out.
was a great rib on Cole.
Yeah, having Pat McAfee's music, like when the music hit, I was like, "Who is this?" It's like, "Oh yeah, oh my god, it's Pat McAfee."
And Cole was like, "You guys didn't tell me."
Come on, guys, it's not nice. I'm Michael Cole. I've been here 25 years.
It was great. I will say Corey Graves sounded so much like Bobby Heenan. He was very Heenan at the Rumble.
Corey Graves is like, I really fucking hate this guy.
But they worked well together. That's a perfect 3-man booth.
It really is, dude. Like, I never want to hear. I'm so happy Kevin Patrick was on the card because I fucking hate. He's. Oh my god, Ricky! What about? We gotta go to commercial break. Woo!
Yeah.
He's awful. He's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with Bailey and Becky and maybe Lita, but who the fuck knows? But let's move on. My God. The opening segment, Judgment Day, and Dominic Mysterio continues to be one of the funniest parts of wrestling each and every week.
Yeah.
I don't understand why I love to see him just do dumb shit.
It's even funny because he already has the tattoos. You know what
I
mean?
think
Like,
I know the teardrop is fake that they just draw it on.
the teardrop's
Yeah.
fake. I don't think it's teardrop. Like on the arms, like his sleeves, those were already there.
Yeah. I love.
Really
did
funny.
you see the NASCAR segment they did?
No, but I don't.
No,
need to.
you need.
I saw. It's like a picture of it. This looks
It
ridiculous.
is absolutely ridiculous. So they were clearly on Fox, doing Clash at the. It's like the Clash or whatever, the first NASCAR races because people watch that. And the New Day, it was like these two race car drivers. I don't know who, because I do know one race car driver was almost in Mexican prison this week, which is really funny.
Jeez.
Yeah, he got caught at the airport with a gun that he's like, I swear I forgot it was on me.
How do you forget a gun's on you? Like,
I don't know. Kyle Busch is an asshole. I know that for a fact. But the New Day were there, and then Judgment Day, which is like Damian Priest, Dominic. It was a New Day with Ray. And then Damian Priest, Dominic, and Finn showed up. And Finn looked like he was straight out of the 90s. That's where the Jamiroquai reference came from. Because he was wearing a bucket hat like that. He was wearing like a bucket hat and sweats. And like a
hell
sweatsuit.
yeah. I don't know who Jamiroquai is. I know Edge told me to Google it, but that's too much
Jamiroquai-
work. Google it. I don't know how to spell it.
I can spell it for you. Jamiroquai is a fantastic fucking artist from the 90s.
Spell it for me. What do you got?
Hmm?
Spell it
Oh,
for me.
Jamiroquai, Jamiaraqui. Jamiroquai.
Jamiroquai.
Yeah. He made a song called. All right, did you ever see Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah.
Do you know?
He looks like Uncle Rico.
Huh?
Looks kind of like Uncle
Kind of.
Rico.
But do you remember the song where it's like dance, nothing else for me to do, just dance. That's Jamiroquai.
Interesting.
And he also made a song called Virtual Insanity, which is also a really good song as well.
Dude, what the fuck is this man? I am so confused.
But anywho, so then they go into this whole talk off at the Coliseum event. Essentially, what it leads to is Dominic and Ray getting in these NASCAR stock cars and racing each other around the track with the NASCAR drivers in there. And the best thing that happened is Dominic says while racing, "Yo, where's the Nas at?"
Where's the Nas at?
He's such an idiot, but I like what they're doing here. I love Beth coming back because Beth is one of those people like Michelle McCool could.
Dude, look at this picture
Who?
of her. Beth.
Yeah, no,
Hot as
no,
fuck.
yeah, she is. There's a reason Edge couldn't stop slapping her ass on live TV. It was really funny. Also, Edge is having a great time with all of this. Like, look at him taking selfies with everybody in the crowd. Like Edge is having the time of his life.
Yeah, he's on his goodbye
Yeah,
tour.
no, it's great. I love it all. I love Edge. I love what he's doing here. They're clearly trying to clean up the Judgment Day stuff with Edge, and I like the story that they're doing.
I don't care for another Edge Finn match though. Like it's been going on for so long.
I think that's why we're doing it at the Chamber, right?
Well, it's doing a mixed
Yeah.
tag. It's gotta lead to a one-on-one at Mania. Because what else would it be? This is like a Hell in a Cell match, which I guess cool.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do like Finn's music. Finn's new music is fucking dope. With the remix version when he came with the Kanye mask at Chamber, not Chamber at
As long as
Extreme
he doesn't wear the stupid mask.
Listen. I was okay with the mask. It's like Finn's just doing some weird stuff, but it's kind of working because Dominic's also stealing most of the spotlight. Because he keeps on screaming "mommy." This is great.
I love that he calls her mommy. It's just so fucking funny. It's just the right amount of stupid.
Yeah. And I cannot wait for Brood Edge versus Demon. That's a good call, Freds. I still can't wait for when they start to build Ray versus Dominic, because that's happening at Mania 2. That's another crazy match for Mania. Ray versus Dominic.
I hope if Ray's not actually hurt.
I don't know. I don't think he is. I don't think he is at all. But anyway, you can save him for a while. Dominic's doing this dumb shit right there. Ray can come back from a save, and then you get Ray versus Dominic at Mania. Perfect.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty great.
It's great. All right, so here's what I bring. We haven't talked about AEW often because there's not much to talk about in AEW land. However, I do want to pose this to you, and I found this interesting fun fact. In 1982, Vince McMahon bought WWE from his father. Okay. Within 4 years' time, he had successfully done the first WrestleMania, which is in 84, 85. And he had successfully started to do Hulkamania. Okay? So that was in the first 4 years. In a couple of months from now, in October of 2023, will be 4 years since AEW Dynamite's first show.
Wow.
Yeah. So my question is, in comparison to that time frame, what is, and we're going to compare this, we're going to do Tony Khan, what is Tony Khan's biggest accomplishment with AEW? If we forgot, Tony Khan was a guy who also called himself, very disrespectfully, essentially the longest tenured promoter in wrestling, hours after Vince McMahon announced his retirement.
Oh, I think I have to do a prediction what's going to happen with the AEW in the next few months. I was going to say Nick Khan's going to buy Tony Khan, then run it into the ground and just shut it all down.
My question to you is, what would be his accomplishment of the 4 years, or big accomplishments of the 4 years?
The first All Out, when they sold out the
Wasn't
arena.
That wasn't AEW. That was nothing. That was not AEW at all. That was them doing stuff with ROH, because ROH funded that.
You know what? I'll say Forbidden Door then.
Okay.
Because it's a concept. I mean, the show itself, I didn't watch the show itself, but I think the show itself was like, okay. Mm-hmm. But the concepts and the fact that they made the impossible happen, right? What they said, like, what can never be done, but it's something people have speculated and wanted for so long.
Here's what I feel about that is that it was something that hadn't been done on that scale, because if you remember, Ring of Honor had their War of the World series for a long time with New Japan, but they didn't have a grand scale like the United Center, in Chicago. So I do agree with that. Yeah. So I was wondering what.
I'd probably say Forbidden Door. I think that's a good one. I like Tony Khan. I don't know why. Just look at him.
He's a lovable.
He's no idea. He's
a lovable idiot. Yeah. He's a lovable. He's a bro. He's essentially a lovable bro.
See if Billy Madison won a wrestling company.
Yeah, I think Forbidden Door for him. I think about it. AEW has, number one, I think the biggest accomplishment is just lasting for right now.
Yeah, staying relevant.
Yeah,
sure.
I think lasting is a big thing, because WWE ramped up a lot after AEW debuted. It took a while for WWE to kind of like, all right, what are we going to do with this? And they were like, oh, okay, we got it now.
They had a lot of momentum.
They
were the place to be. They got Moxley, which was huge.
That was their first get.
Yeah, I'd say Moxley debuting and DDTing Kenny on the poker chip.
Yeah.
Huge moment. Huge moment.
I think also I think they're very innovative. I think it's one of their bigger accomplishments. They're innovative with the arenas that they choose, especially when they did the tennis court.
You mean Chicago 13 times
No,
a year?
I'm talking about when they go to Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Yeah, well, that's the only one that was available. Vince was just like, no one's going to go here.
I think that was a big deal for them as well. And I think one of their bigger accomplishments is that they talk about, even though I can say a lot about Tony, I think they're very innovative in how they handle talent, especially talent that comes out of line minus CM Punk. They're very transparent with what happens to them.
Yeah.
Which WWE is not at all. They're very like closed over. Tony Khan's like, well, no, this happened. Here's what's going to happen. Like, look at Sammy Guevara. They're like, yep, Sammy fucked up. He's suspended. We're going to bring him to sensitivity training, and he has to complete it, or else he can't come back. Great, awesome.
Jeff Hardy, rehab, same thing.
Yeah.
Kenny and the Bucks were held under wraps with CM Punk, but yeah, like with the exception of that, because that's a little different. But yeah, I guess, I mean, he has a reputation backstage for being like,
he's very hands-on.
Spend a lot of money on catering. He spends a lot of money on the boys. He's trying to cater to the boys, which makes sense because trying to bring people there. Like, like WWE has that clause in the contract where if you're injured, you got to bring that. You got the contracts on pretty much frozen.
Yeah. Because you got to finish out your time. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're still paid, but that they miss a year from a torn hamstring.
You got to make up a year.
They got to make up a year back. Tony Khan doesn't have that, so like CM Punk, if he comes back. It's a new contract.
Yeah.
It's not frozen. Like same with Kenny Omega on his suspension when he was injured. It's just like that. He needs to make a few tweaks on the business ends, and I think sometimes he's a little too lean on his talent. Like, it's like Alistair's like I need time away for like my anxiety, like mental health or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes like listen, bro, like I need you on fucking TV. Like what am I paying you for?
Yeah, or like
I get that you need time off, but it's like how much fucking time off do you need? You're barely on TV.
Yeah, or like use your money, which you have almost an unlimited amount of due to your family. Use that money, hire some mental health professionals. They wanted to be really progressive with like catering to wrestlers. Hire therapists for them.
I feel like they have those though.
I honestly don't know. It's not something they've really talked about. Which is, if I was Tony Khan, if I did have that, that's something I'd highlight.
It wouldn't surprise me if they had like fucking a puppy lounge in every single arena. And therapy dogs
that'd be
and like
so
a
dope.
yoga room. Yeah, but it's fucking a waste of money.
Well, no
Like,
waste. I mean,
you know what Tony Khan's biggest failure is? Not making money.
that is the biggest. Well, I said as big as a compliment. I wasn't going to talk about his failure.
Yeah, well, I mean, he makes money, but he can't turn a profit. I mean, I know it takes 4 to 5 years for a company to actually start making money and turn a profit. That's just a fact. But he runs a good product, but he's not good at making money.
Yeah. So I'd be interested to see if they have some sort of mental health or partnering with some sort of mental health agency to help out their talent in particular when things get tough, because it does get tough on the road for them a lot of the time too. But we'll see.
It's the life you chose, man. I mean, honestly, sometimes you gotta be like, listen, get the fuck over it.
Well, you can't just say that as get the fuck over it. Not with people who have like real mental health issues.
You're in the wrong business, man. It's like it's a business, right? You still gotta make money.
Yeah, businesses are tough, but think about if they have mental health professionals with some of our talent, like a Scott Hall.
If they're going through a crisis, like a mental break, yeah, that's one thing. But it's just like I'm tired, I need time off. It's like, bro, you're on a fucking contract.
Tired and need time off. Like physically tired is different from mentally tired or mentally exhausted. Those are different things. And it affects the body differently. It does affect the situation. True. And it does depend on the situation. And
there's a lot I don't know.
Yes.
And if I'm sounding a dick, like, I get it. But, like, at the end of the day, this is a wrestling business that needs to make money and turn a profit for a TV program that I pay you a lot of money to be a character on. If you're not going to be there, like, you shouldn't be in the business then. If you can't handle it, you can't handle it. Get the fuck out. Go do something else.
Yeah, again, it's a situation by situation basis, and I don't know what Alistair's situation is. Yeah. Or Malachi, because I can just call him Alistair, or whatever Malachi's situation is. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Tony Khan still has work to do with AEW, I think. Speaking of which, I want to talk about AEW's champion, MJF, who at this point, and I'm going to use MJF's word here, kind of mid right now. Like, what do you think of essentially his inaugural run as AEW champion?
I haven't heard a goddamn thing about it. There's no
scary.
There's no buzz.
That's very scary.
Even though I don't watch AEW at all anymore, since CM Punk left, I just haven't been interested in AEW. I would still hear things here and there about stuff that's going on, and I listen to wrestling podcasts that cover AEW. Like the Mat Men cover AEW more than WWE, and I still can't tell you what the hell is going on. I know Darby Allin and Samoa Joe have flip-flopping the title of the TNT Championship.
Which Samoa Joe just won again last week.
Yeah, so I haven't heard much about anything about MJF. I haven't heard anything about his promos. I don't know who he's feuding with.
That's very concerning.
I heard a few things here about Ricky Starks. I haven't heard about him in a few weeks. That's because WWE has been really, really hot.
That's also true as well, yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think MJF as a champion, from someone who doesn't watch it, has been very disappointing, which you can take that for what it is. But the fact that I haven't heard anything about it and there's no buzz around him, I think kind of speaks for itself. Now, if you watch it and you say, here's what happened, here's what happened, here's what happened, I could probably be like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't I hearing about that?
Yeah, you hear about a lot of stuff outside of MJF. Taekwon in our chat is telling us.
Oh, I did know that MJF is feuding with Daniel Bryan. Brian Danielson. I did know that.
Which is fine, and I think it's going to be a good barometer to see what MJF can actually do in a ring.
Yeah, but I know who's going to win that match. Like Brian Danielson doesn't want a match in AEW. Like Brian Danielson in AEW has been a flop. He hasn't. What's he done? Yeah,
who knows? According to WrestleMania here, he says MJF cuts promos. That's it. And the guy's my favorite. They're building a match with Danielson. That's it. But, that's great to accentuate the fact that MJF is cutting promos. That's fine. That's cool. It's what he's good at. But you also have to wrestle. Like, Miz cuts good promos. That's what The Miz is good at. But The Miz will still get in the ring.
Yeah. Well, MJF tells good stories in the ring. He's not a great wrestler. He tells really good stories, though.
Sure, and that's important.
He says in his promos, he doesn't need that flippy shit. You know what I mean?
Well, that's fine. You can be a mat-based wrestler. It's, you know.
It's really refreshing in that fucking company where everyone flip-flops.
Yeah, but get in the ring. Get in the ring and wrestle.
Hey, I guess it's also heat, though.
That's true.
You gotta pay to see me wrestle. Does it make sense for MJF's character to be a fighting champion?
Probably not.
But how many times can you hire W. Morrissey or fucking Brian Cage to take out your competition before you fight the guy? They did that with Jericho. Did that with Punk. Now doing it again with Brian. Okay, what else you got?
Yeah.
It's like fuck's sake, write me another story.
Seriously, I'm tired of your heavies.
Yeah.
I'm tired of your heavies. I mean.
Oh, they call him Big Bill now, not W. Morrissey. They call him Big Bill, right? Is that what they call him now?
Big Bill.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. It's a great name. It's a great name. If they call, I think they do call him Big Bill, which is.
That just reminds me of Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah, they call me a Bill, and I'm sitting here.
I'm just a Bill, and I'm a Big Bill.
I'm sitting here,
Capitol Hill. Cutting Medicare and Social Security for your grandma and grandpa.
MJF sending out Bebop and Rocksteady. That's fucked up. Oh my god, Big Bob, aka Helga's daddy, also great reference, right?
Big Bob Pataki.
Big Bob Pataki.
Yeah, I don't know how fucking Taekwon is so young but knows all of these old school references. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. People say I'm an old soul.
No, you're not.
But like. Now, dude, I got people in the office like, how do you know movies from the 80s? I'm like,
because you like movies.
Like, what do you mean? Like, he's like, how do you know this song? I'm like, because I know music. Like, I despise pop music. I know that Flower song's cool, but, Def Leppard's better. Like,
oh, my god.
I can find myself flowers.
Oh, my god.
It's good on TikTok.
It's like every independent girl's theme song.
It's better than Meghan Trainor, all right? I can't put my Gucci on.
Listen, it's all about that bass, no trouble.
Yeah, that song was.
It's all about that bass. Oh my god.
Well, she was fat back then. She had that fat ass, but now she's in shape and really pretty.
Yes. Speaking of in shape, it's totally about music. We're going to go off before we talk about NXT Vengeance Day, which was or actually it was good for what it was worth. I'll say that. But did you see the Adele at the Grammys?
With The Rock? I did see that. I was like, wow, this was so scripted. but it's still. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Fucking Trevor. I was like, yeah, so I heard you're a big fan of Dwayne Johnson. Well, he's not here, but I have this guy, The Rock.
Clever Trevor.
Oh my god.
Also, leave Beyonce alone and Harry Styles. For
What
fuck's
did
sake,
Beyonce
everybody,
do?
get over yourselves. Nothing.
What
Nothing.
did Harry Styles do that was wrong?
So Harry Styles won a Grammy. First of all, that's what he did. What was
He
wrong.
had good.
So
his
Beyonce,
music is actually. I've listened to it. It's actually pretty catchy. He makes good music.
I don't think I'm Harry Styles, but I just know he's the biggest artist in the world right
That
now.
is-
But
that is
Beyonce,
also correct.
So Beyonce broke a record
Or
for
like most
the amount of
most
Grammys
Grammy
won.
ones, yeah.
But she's only won like the big four, like best song, best album, whatever.
Boo
Like
fucking who?
like once or
Oh,
twice.
so she won the
they're
Grammys
mad-
that mattered.
She didn't win the Grammys that mattered.
Oh,
That's what
she's
they're saying.
never won the Big Four?
So she's won one.
Okay.
But so they're saying, she wins all the awards, but it's still like racist because she's never won the big one, and they're mad at Harry Styles for winning the big one.
Harry Styles was a better artist last year. Beyonce didn't come out with anything.
That's like, yeah, I was like leave everybody
And
the
besides,
fuck alone.
Beyonce's
It's like, for fuck's sake, Beyonce breaks the record, and you're still
Like,
mad.
Beyonce's the winningest artist in Grammy history. Like, that's something to be happy about. Who cares?
And she's fucking Beyonce.
Yeah.
And wait until she gets mad at Ticketmaster. She's touring.
Yeah. You think
this year.
Taylor Swift threw a fit? Oh, you wait. You wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Beyonce fans, I know T Swift fans are mad, but Beyonce fans are fucking crazy.
Yeah. I will.
Jazz makes us the alien superstar like every car ride. I want to rip my ears off my face.
My God, there's not a fandom I hate more than the Beehive. Is what they call themselves, by the way.
Oh my God. Do you know Alien Superstar?
No, I don't want to. I don't want.
Dude, listen to the
I don't want
song.
to.
It's just. So here's how she describes it. She's like, it's a song for black women.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, that's fine. She's like, I can see black women feeling empowered and loving that shit, but everyone else is just like, I like Beyonce. She's a great artist, but this song is just fucking awful. Bad bitch on the bar. Alien superstar. Like, that's just how it goes.
Whatever. I will never probably listen to it at all. Anyway, let's go back to.
Let's do it once.
All right, maybe. All right, let's go back to NXT. NXT Vengeance Day was actually pretty cool. I know you didn't watch it, Will.
No, I saw a few highlights. So I saw Carmelo Hayes come out at the end, which I was just like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
I love the setup. It was very kind of bare bones, but still like a massive fucking screen.
It was good to see them in a big.
It was good.
In a big arena.
It was good to
again.
see them. They weren't sold out. You can clearly tell they weren't sold out. But it was good to see them.
You don't have to be. Who cares?
But it was good to see them with an arena with a fan base that was also very rowdy. Like that crowd helped out a lot.
Where was it?
Charlotte, North Carolina. And they had an intro with Charlotte Flair because Charlotte and Charlotte, which is also surprising. Like, how come Charlotte hasn't had a WrestleMania? Probably because no one wants to go there, but they probably don't have the infrastructure for it. Because
where would they play? Like, what would they play? Where would they
the
perform?
Panthers,
Like, what stadium?
Carolina Panthers Stadium.
Oh yeah.
And then the Hornets also have their best.
Okay, what else is
that's
there to
the
do?
that's the issue. That's the issue. That's the big issue.
Like even with Detroit, it's like, okay, I'm sure there's like a car museum there somewhere.
Oh yeah, you
can go see poverty if you're into that kind of thing.
You can go find water in Detroit. That's the biggest. It's the big attraction.
I'm sure Flint is nearby.
Yeah, I think it's north. Don't quote me on that. But no, Vengeance Day was good. Carmelo Hayes and Apollo Crews, great. 2 out of 3 falls. That tag match was great because apparently Andre Chase, aka Harlem Bravado, is from Carolina. So his family was in tennis, and there was a giant Chase U section. I will say, Chase U is probably my favorite gimmick in NXT right now.
That's pretty cool. I'm glad he had his own section. I do like section, the Cesaro section, the Baddies Club, and now the Chase U section.
Because everybody wears the Chase U shirt, and they're all like in one section of the crowd.
Dude, it's like they need like the Weasley sweaters.
They do. Well, no, it's just shirts, but he does wear like kind of a sweater vest idea, which is great. But like, one of his signature moments in his match is like he's stomping the guy on the ground. He's like, "Give me a C," and the crowd yells C, and so the entire arena did it with him.
That's pretty cool.
He goes, "What does it spell?" And everybody yells, "Chase you."
That's pretty cool. I'll give him that. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that.
He's doing so much better when we first saw him in the Indies as Harlem Bravado, and I hated him with a burning passion.
I'll give him an applause break for that one. That's pretty good.
The tag
That's
match is great. New Day
creative.
dropped to Gallus.
Yeah, it's only the Triple H is like, it's WrestleMania, saves me kind of
Yeah,
back.
stop playing around, guys.
Be my age with you, so again, who knows?
Yeah, Dijak broke his finger.
I did see that. That looked like it hurt.
Yeah, he broke it in the middle of the match and still had to finish the match. So there's that. Yeah, no, it was good. My only thing is that I'm so glad Carmelo is finally going after Braun Breaker because Braun Breaker is so fucking boring. There's nothing about him that I enjoy.
Yeah, there's been no buzz around him either, and there was for a while, and he just kind of fell off.
He has no personality.
Which is funny because he's a Steiner.
Yeah, but he's like, I want to be Brick. I want to make my name off of a Steiner. I'm like, no, you're a Steiner for a reason. Use that. Like, I get it. You want to be yourself, but you're still a Steiner. Like, you do all the Steiner stuff. You might as well be it. It was really funny because Grayson Waller came out for the cage match wearing chainmail on his head.
That's really funny. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
But yeah, there's nothing great about him. The best character in NXT is Carmelo Hayes. Him and Trick Williams are fantastic.
I still love the name Trick Williams.
I know, and they better come up together. He's not coming up right now because Triple H is going to hold him back.
What happened with Toxic Attraction? They just broke up.
They just broke up on TV officially.
Yeah, NXT.
Yeah. Well, obviously they were going for a while. They did a triple threat with Roxanne Perez, who also had a great Rumble appearance.
God, she's so cute.
She's like only 21 and she's like 5 feet tall.
Yeah, she's like AJ Lee when she first debuted. It's like, oh, yes, I just want to give her a hug and like pinch her cheeks. Like, it's so cute. And then give her this little peck on her nose.
And so obviously it was a triple threat, and Roxanne won because they started infighting. They went on Ding Dong. They did Ding Dong Hello with Bailey, who apparently might have broken her arm during the cage match. She was in a sling. I was like, oh, that's not fun. And then they pretty much did. JC Jane turned on Gigi. They essentially kind of recreated the barbershop moment. And she threw Gigi Dolan through Bailey's door.
The door.
Which didn't break all the way. So it was kind of a rough looking spot. But I'm fine with it. You need to, without Mandy, you need to tear up Toxic Attraction.
Yeah.
And which is a shame because Mandy was on a great run, but Mandy's making a lot of money right now. Trust me.
Oh, she's doing just fine. She's not missing shit.
Yeah, she is doing just fine. But
she's like, I can take pictures of my butthole.
Yeah.
Or I can fall on my head for a living.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my butthole. So.
I'd probably also go with my butthole.
So. Yeah, no, NXT's revving up for Stand and Deliver, which I believe will be Braun Breaker's last match, and they're going to probably call him up prematurely because he's not ready because he has no personality. And Carmelo Hayes is going to run NXT for at least the next year, which I'm more than okay with.
Nothing like a good old post-Mania call-up.
Yeah, he's going to, because, like, honestly, without the title, Braun Breaker has nothing to do in NXT. Which is scary because I think he might get lost in the sauce, because, again, like I said, he has no personality.
Yeah, who do you feud with? Like Dolph Ziggler?
I mean, usually that's what happens. I mean, he already feuded with Dolph already. He did it last year.
True.
When Dolph beat him for the NXT Championship.
Well, do you think Austin Theory walks out of the chamber with the U.S. title? He'd go after like Austin. I could see him and Austin Theory having a good feud.
Yeah, I mean, also we didn't talk about him, but I love this Austin Theory. He is in a very Hollywood Rock kind of moment.
He is. that car was really nice.
Oh yeah, the rented Lambo.
Yeah.
You know, he's definitely
rented.
Yeah, he's definitely Hollywood Rock at the moment. But it's also, this is the heel that we saw in Evolve. I was like, finally they let him be.
Finally.
Yeah, they let him be himself. Granted, he was a great comedy act for a while, getting his ass beat and being a part of the way.
He was. I would not like it at first, but it really grew me as a comedy act.
Yeah, but he's such a pure asshole. It's so good. It's so good. I don't think he loses. I want to see him get a Mania match.
Who's in it? It's Seth.
Seth's in it. I forgot.
Priest.
Seth, Priest. Montez. Tez qualified this week. I forgot who else. I don't know if it's going to.
Theory. Obviously, there's 2 more.
I don't know if they've totally solidified. Let me do a quick check on WWE's website real quick. So
I hope he keeps it. But to Fretz's point, I think he goes up against Cena and loses at Mania.
Yeah,
him and Cena would be a great
okay,
match.
so the card's already set. So it's Seth, Theory, Priest, Johnny Gargano, Montez.
That's right.
And Jonah. No, it's not his real name's not Jonah. Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed. My thick boy.
Yeah, I forgot he came back too.
Yeah, that's going to be an actual fun match.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Hell yeah, it's gonna be
There's
awesome.
a lot of good workers in this match. There's a lot of good workers in this match. Like, I'm just waiting for Montez's, Montez is going to touch the top of the chamber when he hits a frog splash.
He's gonna hit his head.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's gonna be great. But we'll talk all about Elimination Chamber next week. But that is essentially the end of our show. A little over an hour for us, actually.
Good. Cut that shit short.
Pretty good. So yeah, you want to know who next week's guest is? So we are going to do Elimination Chamber next week, and we're not going to do it alone, Will. So I hope you're ready to smile because.
Please, I don't know who. Sam
yes.
Smiley.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, my girl. I haven't seen her in a long time. This is New Orleans.
Smiley is going to be not coming in, but she's going to be live with us straight from Chicago. And I think her quote was, "I wanted to get on during Black History Month to give Will shit." So I was like, perfect.
What did I do?
I was like, perfect.
I have no problem with Black History Month. I'm sorry, it's February. Sometimes you get 29 days. What can I say?
Sure. It was a deliberate thing on purpose. I forgot the history of when it got named there. But yeah, no, Smiley's going to be...
Does that something to do with Martin Luther King?
No, it does not. I have to look it up again, but I forgot. But Smiley is coming, so we're going to reminisce, have a great time. It'll be the day before your birthday, so that's my birthday gift to you.
Oh, shit, You're right. Yeah, I'm turning 28 next week.
Yeah, so, Smiley's going to be around for us, and we can't wait to have her. And with that being said, let's go to post. No, not Norman Smiley, Taekwondo Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number...
That'd be cool,
It would be great. Episode number 327, Pull Back to Current. I've been your host, King Ricky Rosa. You can formerly find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets. BIGZ, Ambassador Biggs. Don't try to follow me at all because I'm actually really not there. I am pretty ghost. I'll find Kings of the Rings podcast at KOTR_podcast across all social media outlets. Like, share, subscribe, leave us 5-star reviews because it really helps your boys out, helping us get the word out there. So please, share it, leave reviews, leave comments, do all that fun stuff that you do for all the other people that you follow on social media. We deserve that love too. If you're listening to us on audio, make sure you're listening to us on Wrestle Addict Radio, the cure for the common wrestling podcast, and follow Wrestle Addict Radio socials at Addict_Wrestle on Twitter and Wrestle Addict Radio everywhere else. Next week, we're going to preview Elimination Chamber with our good old friend Smiley from Chicago, but we met her in New Orleans, and she used to live in Florida. It's a lot of stuff going on, but we're all going to recap it next week. But until then, Will Tarashuk, sorry.
We got so much to catch up on. I thought she was still in Florida, so I'm some good friend, some friend.
She moved back to Chicago.
Oh, good for her. Well, if you want to be my friend, my name is Will Tarashuk, T as in Thomas, ARASHU. My internet bill is paid. It is set up. It took a little while because Optimum kind of sucks balls sometimes. But, Talking with Tarashuk podcast is going great. Tomorrow I'm speaking to a military veteran who has done a lot of...
should be fun.
A lot of great work. He started a podcast, but he pretty much helps veterans, not kill themselves.
Oh, okay.
So, it's honestly, dude, veterans with podcasts is very, very helpful for other veterans. I've heard that from multiple people. So I'm very excited to pick his brain. He's also a Boston native, so he's from my neck of the woods.
Oh, God. It's going to be a lot of Boston accent going on.
Yeah, he was introduced to me from another guy who's been podcasting since 2005.
Wow.
Who was on my podcast last year.
Okay.
So I'm very excited. So shout out to Keith Hayes from Hoopazoo.
Nice.
To introducing me to Trevor. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That releases on... February, last day in February.
That's February 28th was the last day in February.
22nd. So,
okay.
Yeah, last Wednesday in February. So 22nd. It's on the 22nd.
All right, gotcha. All right, so when we come back next week, folks, it's the Elimination Chamber preview show featuring CM Smiley, and it's going to be a great time. So until then, folks, goodbye Good night. We'll see you on the post show if you're following us live.
Music.
And fuck you, Slack. He gets eliminated first. Yeah, I forgot my tip of the crown stuff is fucking great. Fretz has been going nuts since he's sick.
Yo, Fretz has been going crazy.
It's because
these
he's sick. Oh, this is the best one. Damian Priest getting ready to win Elimination Chamber. It's a picture of R-Truth. Also, I love how Beth Phoenix has a good sense of humor. All right, let me see if I can find this Detroit line, the Ford Field technology. Field. By the way, Ford Field holds 65,000 people base. And so that's going to be a pretty crazy time.
Excellent. Audio is good. No crackle. No snap, crackle, pop.
No snap, crackle, pop. That's good. Smiley just texted me. She goes, "Did you tell him?" And I said, "Just did to end our show." I guess she wanted to be a massive surprise, like day of.
Hey man, I got helping and piss her off.
Now, let me see if I saw this thing on Ford Field. It's Ford Field technology. Here we go. All right, I think this is it. Let's listen in on what this tech is.
Are you ready for
Nope.
it?
Not that. That's Taylor Swift.
You know what MSG has, like the facial recognition.
That's what Ford Field has.
I don't like that.
It's kind of knocking thoughts. I don't know if I saved it. I did not.
It's like, what do you need to
Because they're
scan my face
doing
for?
targeted ads. Which is, it's like I said, kind of knocking thoughts, but I don't have it. That sucks. That does suck, actually. Oh, whatever. Oh, you ever see the emotional damage guy?
No.
It's like, emotional damage?
Nope.
Great guy. So it's like this Asian comedian, he makes fun of like his strict parents. So like this is the one that's like been going nuts for a while, but I'll play it for you because it's so fucking stupid.
Remember your cousin in China? He got 15 years work experience. He's 9. How's that even possible? Because he does 5 jobs at the same time. Master's degree, interns for Google. Timmy got attention deficit disorder and he walked it off. Timmy speaks 6 languages. Only language you speak is failure. Also, why can't you be as handsome as Timmy, huh? You look like Tom Holland. You look like Thank You Next. Okay, at least I didn't fail any exams. Exam? You think he had books? Timmy learned calculus from the back of milk cartons. In America, you have iPad, you have laptop. He didn't even have electricity. Listening to the lo-fi study beats. If Timmy wanted music, he had to play it. He learned to play Mozart from listening to the McDonald's jingle. Probably not very athletic then. What the hell? Timmy's the captain of his soccer team. We have to play in the 150-degree sun barefoot in the snow. Over here, you bump into somebody. Oh, ref, that's a foul. Oh, foul. Back in China, we used to roundhouse kick each other in the face. Remember your...
So fucking good. Oh, there's a bunch of other dumb shit I find. By the way, Will, do you have any update on this AEW video game? Because WWE is getting ready for launching theirs. That's coming out fucking St. Patty's Day.
Dude, I can't wait for this Hogwarts game.
There's a lot of gameplay footage that got leaked.
So the gameplay footage looks awesome. The combat looks really cool.
Yeah.
The actual writing, like the
I
dialogue
heard
scenes, look a
it's
little
bad.
It looks a little bad,
Mm-hmm.
and the menu systems also look pretty poopy.
Yeah, and it's like it's supposed to predate Harry's existence at.
Yeah, it's like 500 years before.
Yeah.
I mean, but it looks a lot of fun. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna get it for my birthday.
We see a graphic every week of AEW saying it comes soon. Okay. Oh my god. I'm very scared for that AEW video game.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna be good.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking at 2K23 because, like, you know, they had like I like the videos are coming out, and they have like the side by side like entrances from 2022 to 2023. Their characters look the exact
There's
same.
nothing different. It's becoming Madden-like, but like, I want to see what they do with GM mode. I want to see how War Games plays. Well, I watch footage of how War Games plays, which is kind of knucking thoughts. Like, that's going to be a great online community game for people.
Yeah, it will be. That's for sure.
You know, especially if you can get like legit, because you can do 3-on-3 or 4-on-4. So you get like an 8-person party playing War Games. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun.
Like, I'm interested to see how they expand GM mode, and I want to play what I'm going to call the beat up John Cena mode.
That is a different twist. I mean, but it's just like, I might as well just play 22. Like, it's, yeah, the roster's a little out of date, but it's the same game.
Yeah, but like
there's no reason for me to buy 23 when I still have 22 to play.
I would go for the expanded I think GM mode's going to be a big get this year. Like, I want to see the expanded GM mode. I kind of just want to beat up John Cena a lot.
I don't know. GM mode isn't like my thing, though.
GM mode. I know you're a My Faction person.
I am the My Faction.
Yeah,
person.
I'm a GM mode guy.
I'm such a sucker for those stupid
Stupid
fucking cards
card
I
games.
don't spend money on. The thing is, though, like, I don't spend money on them. That's the crazy thing.
People go nuts for that, by the way. People go nuts for those fucking card games.
Yeah, it's hilarious. They make so much money. It's like, wow, you're all stupid for buying this shit. I just play it because it's fucking addicting and fun.
The only time that I really like to do it, because I think I have a better hold on it, because I've tried Madden's card system game, like Ultimate Team, and it's kind of shitty.
NBA is the best.
NBA is really good. MLB The Show is I will play not Road to the Show, Diamond Dynasty all day, every day.
Diamond Dynasty is fun.
Mini seasons are my jam.
Well, the problem with the mini seasons, it's only 3 innings.
That is a little poor.
Like, it should be 6 innings.
I'd be cool with 6.
Like, do backyard baseball style.
Yeah.
I
By the way, did you see? Do you see that Jeter's the special edition cover?
I did. You texted me that. What is this? Is this 327?
327, yeah. Pull back the curtain.
So yeah, but I was in my hotel room. I was playing on my Switch. And I was playing a little bit of the show because I haven't played it in a while. And I was like, this game's still fun. Like, I don't need to buy 23 because I'm still playing. I can still play 22 and have fun.
Yeah, 22 is a whole lot of fun.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. After the season ends, though, Diamond Dynasty is completely useless.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Like all the mini games and the challenges were really fun.
Because they always update your, like, if somebody's playing well, they give them a boost.
Yeah, well, there's that, but like, you know, like it was like the monthly June challenges, like it's like the Lou Gehrig Day challenges or the Jack Robinson Day challenges,
Yeah.
Or like the Home Run Derby challenges. Those were always a lot of fun. So I played a lot of those. Yeah. And then I also just played regular, like, season mode with, like, my fantasy team. I made it to the All-Star break.
Listen, I heard, because you did the full 182.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
But I do play every game, and I'm pretty much at the
Well,
All-Star
no, but
break.
I'm saying, like, is your season 182 games in length? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard that the show's, like, franchise mode is deep.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's fun.
Like, how do you deal with the contracts and stuff, too? Because I know NBA 2K, if you ever do their Dynasty mode, their contracts are fucking crazy. Like, they put in the real rules of, like, the NBA, because there's, like, a bird rule, and there's a whole bunch of other shit the NBA does with their contracts. Which is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I am kind of excited for Elimination Chamber.
What the fuck?
What? What's going on?
I should do that first. All right, 1 second. Why am I'm not getting audio, but I'm not getting audio.
That's weird. Miss Raw and SmackDown this week. Catch up on all the action the next day on Hulu. Good job, WWE. I'm looking at this, whatever details they have about this. Oh, let's see what the SummerSlam Priority Pass thing is. It's always a big. Oh, it's just pre-sale shit. So they haven't said much for it. You know what I think WWE makes most of their money? Like the little Priority Pass thing instead of a travel pass shit that they did. I think that's raking in a ton of money for them. All these crazy ass packages. By the way, did you see Riddle's new girlfriend?
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just, talking to keep the stream alive.
I'm having for some reason I can't hear my audio.
That's weird. You need a knucking futz counter? Quiet. It's a quad.
I move it up a track.
Well, you said you were able to hear your audio. What happened?
Well, I don't know. So, like, I hear it in my track. Maybe my track is muted, but I don't know how that's possible because I'm getting levels. But if I move it up a track, it's fine.
Oh my god. Frets, I just saw what you put in our Tip of the Crown Discord channel. Did some dude really come with an oversized watch to wear it as a belt? To AEW Dynamite. Hold on, I need to save this Cody Rhodes picture. That's still funny as all hell.
What's happening here? Okay, there we go.
So my phone just goes off like nuts right now. Florida's playing. Russell Westbrook got traded away from the Lakers, which is fucking funny.
Where'd he go?
He is going to Utah. So, it's a 3-team trade between the Lakers, the Wolves, and the Jazz.
There we go. I think I got
Got
it.
it?
Weird, yeah. For some reason, so like when I do a multi-track, I record all of our audio on track 1, my audio on track 2,
And the music on...
your audio on track 3, and the music on track 4.
Oh, so you double the audio. Okay.
Yes. So for some reason, my audio on track 2 is just the levels are showing, but I'm not hearing anything. So when I export it, it's just your audio.
Oh yeah, no, that's weird.
Which is wrong.
Very wrong.
It's very wrong. So let me hit a no on this. I'm gonna go back into my folder. So I just moved to track 1, and I could hear it again.
There we go.
But it recorded just fine.
Okay.
So weird things happening over here at the Tarashek household.
That's true. So apparently,
Alien Superstar.
the Washington Commanders might be up for sale. This motherfucker wants to make out like a bandit. By the way...
Yeah, I heard there were rumors that Bezos was going to buy it, but the Washington Commanders owner hates Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, the Washington Commanders owner also wants $7 billion.
Well, I mean, if they're called the Redskins, I could believe it.
Nah, he wants... I mean, the highest sale ever... I'm waiting for... Let me see. No, I'm reading it says thus far the highest bid has been 6.3. Which is still 1.6 more than what the Denver Broncos sold for in 2022. Like, it's like essentially like 30 of the top biggest, most lucrative franchises in all the sports are all NFL franchises.
Yeah. I don't know if it was Jay-Z or someone else. It was some other, like, black billionaire who wanted to go partially in on owning a football team like the Redskins or the Commanders, excuse me. If it was gonna be anybody, it probably would have been Jay-Z because he has enough money to like go be a part owner.
Yeah.
But I don't remember who it was. I think it was Jay-Z.
It might be Jay.
All right, there we go. I have audio. That was really fucking weird. I don't know what's up with that.
Weird times in the audio stuff.
And nothing's muted. Right?
No.
Nothing's
No.
I don't think so.
Nothing's
I don't
muted.
think anything on my audition is muted.
No, I was muted a little quickly, but that was during the pre-show, and I quickly fixed that.
Yeah, no. We tested the audio. Everything is good. I got the final. So it was just really, that was really.
Yeah, no, I got the levels and stuff.
See, and like it was playing with levels. It's like the bars were moving, so the audio.
It's there somewhere, yeah.
But like, if I can't hear it, that's probably could be a routing thing. But the fact that it exported without it is even weirder.
That's very weird.
It's like the audio is there, it's registered, but it's just not going to export. Just go fuck yourself, I guess.
You know that's very weird.
Let me upload this bad boy.
Fucking Cody Rhodes and the Dipset picture. It's one of the best pictures I've ever seen.
It's so fucking funny, dude. That's so funny. I don't know where Taquan finds this stuff,
Internet,
but he needs to put me on something.
There's a whole Cody being like image being like a black person.
Oh, you know who texted me the other day? Speaking about Cody,
Dave.
No, I got text. I got to text Dave though, because I do want to bring Dave back on the show. Christian, the original Christian.
Really?
He texted me, asked if I watched Rumble, and we started talking about it. I'm gonna try and get him back on the show too.
You listen. If we do old school KOTR, like I'll do my best to change up all the logos and like the feel of a show, but that'll be the show that you host again. Like I will go back to third mic.
Dude, I don't have the original logo.
I have them archived. I have them.
You do? You have the original one? Dude, that one, my friend Pat Hopkins made that. I'm so proud of that logo. I mean, it's fucking awful, but I'm very proud of it.
I was just going to bring it back to the one that we got when we went
to just go make him say, Let me give that a cheeseburger.
I love how everybody in our Discord chat now has their own emoji.
Yeah, everyone needs an emoji. Yeah, and I got the white on black and red one that my friend Carly made. Which honestly, the one Carly made us, which is the white, black, and red, was the original idea I had for a logo, which is like the ring ropes and on the apron was Kings of the Rings. And I think it was you or her who suggested to do crowns on the ring posts.
Yeah, it's like Kwan's going nuts on the Discord with all of the Cody memes. Frets, we are not going to use the new KOTR logo.
God, we should. we really should.
Just trigger everybody from back in that time period again.
That's when we jumped the shark, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm okay with it. Listen.
I mean, fuck do I care? But that was. I'll say it again. That was definitely a mistake.
Listen, I love the creative freedom we did with that.
Dr. Cody Luther Gang. Wrestling has only one reel. Oh my god! If I could do 2 cheeseburgers, I would.
Well, I think you can. Can you?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'll find out though. Let me try.
You need to put more stuff in the tip of the crown thing. Fred's can't be the only one putting stuff. Although I do love a Star Wars meme he put in there.
Yeah, I can only do it. I can only do it once.
You see the Star Wars meme?
Star Wars. That tip of the crown.
Yeah, it'll come back around. It was from episode 1, and it's like, and the Jedi will never forget the name. Instead of Darth Maul, it's Gold Dust.
No, I did see Gold Dust. I saw the Gold Dust. I was like, oh my god, I laughed really loud when I saw that. Gold Dust. Also, the one in the bed.
Oh, when he's sleeping, it's the bubble and it's Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, it's Bobby Lashley. It's just the famous meme. It's Sable's face and Brock like all red.
Oh my god. It's never going to happen, but I wish Goldust or Dustin would be a part of his storyline. But
I don't know, dude. I think Tony Khan would let him. Tony Khan's marking out over this storyline too.
he's like, it's so beautiful.
The reason Batman doesn't cover his whole face because he needs the police to know he's white.
What?
Come on, Taquan, please kill white people too. Stop that.
Oh my god, there's this guy on TikTok that hates Batman.
How do you hate Batman?
I
mean, he's not a superhero.
I will pull it up for you.
I'll grant him
He's
that
also
one.
he is also a comic book writer too. He's actually a great guy. He's had some successful comics, but he has.
Dude, how do you hate Batman as a comic book writer? It's like you exist because of him.
You'll understand why. It's this one that he's really loud. It's called Batman is Not a Hero.
He's okay. Now you've piqued my interest.
And
he's a vigilante.
He references a comic that came out where Batman built a pretty much an impenetrable force field for Clark Kent's mother. And he goes off about that, and you'll understand in a second.
You know what? I don't even know you, but you made a perfect point. Batman fans, get the fuck out. It's finna get cold in this bitch. I need somebody to explain
finna get
to
cold.
me. Okay? I need somebody to explain to me how in the absolute fuck can bitch Wayne create impenetrable fucking domes for Martha fucking Kent? How the fuck can you build a house again? How can you do this for them? You can't build a prison strong enough to hold your roads? Make it make sense, Jesus. Batman, from the bottom of my heart, bro. You a bitch. You are definitely a fucking bitch. You trash, bro. Your fucking city is poor, rat-infested, disease-infested. Your fucking people are living under fucking bridges. But you can build a fucking house for his fucking parents. You can make an impenetrable fucking shield for his fucking parents. You can't do that shit for your own fucking city. You raggedy bitch. Fuck you. You are trash. Nah, we not letting that slide today. Fuck no. You mean to fucking tell me you got drug-infested streets? You got only friends models at fucking corners? You got gangsters and bad dudes? Hell, even the GCPD is fucking corrupted. You punk-ass bitch. You can't fix none of that, but you can make a free house with a free impenetrable dome? How much did you pay for that, bitch? Like, why the fuck doesn't every Gotham house and building have one of these bitches? Bro, you are trash. Look at me. You are fucking trash. Bro, the writers of DC suck. Y'all is trash, bro. The next time a child dies in Gotham, I want you to remember, Bruce. I want you to remember you could have saved that baby. You could have. But you know what you did instead? You gave the Kents a fucking impenetrable shield instead of taking care of your city. You fucking bastard. To make shit worse, you know whose people in city got an impenetrable shield, Bruce? Do you? If you thought Wakanda, bitch, you are absolutely correct. The king of the goddamn dead takes care of his country and all his fucking galaxy. Nah, but not you, you trash-ass hero. Boy, fuck you. I'm done. Fuck Bruce. You know what?
I love this guy.
Wow. Tell me how you really feel.
He made a parody one when he got a flat tire the other day. And he's like, yep, I saw Batman on the street. He gave me that look in the Batmobile and then threw a batarang at my fucking car, my tire. It was great. He showed us the PSI. His PSI was at 2 for his busted tire. He's like, I've never seen 2 on my tire in my life. But yeah, he's King Lion.
I haven't checked my tires in a long time. I should probably do that.
Have you ran your car? Because like when it was like almost negative degrees Fahrenheit last weekend.
You know what? I haven't. I was away. So what do I do? Just run it and just drive it around for a little bit?
Yeah, because the tire pressure was depleting just because it was cold and so the molecules are closer together. So when I ran my car, because I had to do some field work last week. So eventually, after going for a certain length of time, the tire pressure gauge goes away and goes back to regular pressure because your tires are warm. But when it's cold and sits there, the shit shoots up. It's like, well, we got a problem. Tire pressure's not there, but just got to run your tire. You got to run your car for a little bit. And you got to be going above like 20 or 30 miles an hour, so that you're.
Well, you know what? I do need to drive to. Oh, so get this. I do need to drive to Micro Center.
What happened now?
Well, no. This is good
Okay.
news. So I don't know. I'm actually not bringing my computer. I'm bringing credit cards.
Oh,
So,
you're buying stuff for the
since
company?
No, it's even better. I'm going to refund.
Nice.
So since I had to upgrade the computer and I use it for work, like I made an off comment when I was in Vegas, and I was like, yeah, like, you know, thankfully I had to get a new drive because thank God I did, because otherwise I would have lost all of my work from, like, you know, what we do every single day. And she was just like, you should expense that. I was like,
Ooh.
I was like, I'll send you an email
And an invoice.
So well no, but because I'm
You're
a contractor. I don't have a company card, so I take hers. I take my boss's.
Nice.
So I have her card, and I gotta drive to Micro Center and just be like, hey, here's like the receipt, here's the order number, just refund this card and charge it on this card instead. So I'm doing the build, I'm doing the new hard drive at the transfer, and the power supply.
Nice.
So I'm gonna get like $800 back.
That's pretty awesome. So my friend who lives in Colorado, I think he's a programmer. So I hit him up on his birthday, and he showed me his setup. I gotta send it to you, even though it's kind of messy. He's fucking 3 monitors and a laptop.
Yeah, dude, programmers are nuts.
So, but here's what he's.
They need three.
Here's what he said. He
monitors.
goes. He showed me his PC setup. He goes, finally was able to get a new Hen graphics card last month.
A what?
He said it's a Hen graphics card. But he said it's only HD, not 4K, first world problems. But it does 200 FPS on Ultra in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, but it's not 4K.
But it's 200 frames per second. It doesn't fucking matter.
I feel like my 3090 could do 200 frames per second.
He has a 36.
I'll let you. Actually, you know what? I'll let you know. I don't have Cyberpunk. I hear Cyberpunk's still fucking broken.
No, it's not.
But,
and to what I know, it's not. He has a.
Well, if you're trying to run on a full blast, I think it is.
Okay.
But still, 200 FPS, pretty.
Yeah, he has a 3060 Ti.
Well, he's got the 3060.
Huh?
He's got the 3060.
Yeah, he said it's one gen up the most recent, but for reference,
Yeah.
it's about 400 and outperforms the previous one that went for 800.
Well, here's the difference between like the 3060 Ti and my 3090 Ti. It's the RAM. It's the VRAM. And that makes all difference, because other than that, like my 1070 had 8 gigs of RAM. The 3060 also has 8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
My 3090 has 24.
Nice.
And that it's like even like if I'm playing Assassin's Creed, right, and I have it on full blast, and it overloads on the VRAM, it's not going to run smooth. So it doesn't even matter, right? So if you want to play games at full blast, you need. I think the 3090 had 12 gigs.
Yeah.
And then the 3090 Ti had 24.
Yeah. Taquan, if we're going to do Tip of the Crown, it's got to be wrestling-related memes. You just can't be putting random memes like this.
You know what? What do you got?
Go look after the Batman one.
Growing up out west, you get used to watching N-words get DP'd behind the liquor.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so glad I'm not on Black Twitter.
It's
Like, I don't know what like 4 of these words mean.
okay.
Violate. What's the G code? Like we're boys, like we're G's.
Yeah, it's this unwritten code. Nothing you need to worry about. Trust me.
It's like bro code plus.
If that's what you want to, that's the way you want to look at it. Sure. Pro code plus, yes.
Sounds fun.
Oh my god! But yeah, you gotta now. You have no excuse to not watch Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, I'll get around to it. I'm really enjoying The Last of Us.
The show.
Yeah.
I just finished Well, I just finished watching the last 2 episodes of Bad Batch.
It's like, dude, they finally did like a gay love story and that nobody complained
In
about.
Last of Us.
In The Last of Us.
Did
Yeah.
anybody ever complain about Will and Grace? Well, I think you're too young for Will and Grace.
Well, people did. Just the internet wasn't around.
Fair. It wasn't in its form.
It's like yeah, I'm too young, but so is the internet. You know what I mean? Like, well, it's also
Listen, I
like,
loved Will and Grace the show the first time around. It was fucking great.
the character in the game was actually also gay.
Oh, in
it
The
was
Last
just,
of Us?
Last of Us.
Yeah.
So you played The Last of Us?
No, I never did. I never got it. It wasn't. It wasn't the game I would go for myself.
So in the game, Joel and Ellie are leaving Boston, and they get a car, right? And this guy Bill, who lives in like the town in outside Massachusetts, owed him a favor, so he had to go get.
It's
the car.
all during like this is during like a zombie apocalypse type deal.
Yeah, this is 20 years into zombie apocalypse. So it's what the fungal apocalypse. So like in the game, they go find Bill, and Bill always mentions his partner.
Okay.
Frank. And but like, it was his gay partner.
Gotcha.
And like in the game, like Frank got bit, and then you walk into his house and like he hung himself.
Ew.
So in the show, they kind of like Ellie and Joel need to go to Bill for supplies.
Okay.
So on the way to the show, they kind of show Bill's story, and it's the whole episode. It's like after the first 10 minutes, it's a switch, and it's a flashback of Bill and Frank
When they first met.
When they first met, and like how they lived the last 20 years of their lives together. And it's a little bit different than the game. And it's just such a beautiful fucking love story in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and it's very, very well done. And it just adds canonical backstory to a character who was like actually pretty like beloved in the game.
Nice. So it's like what Dave Filoni's doing with Star Wars.
Yeah, it was very respectful to the character and the source material, and a very compelling, believable love story.
Nice.
That nobody complained about. If you can believe it.
I can't actually. There's got to be somebody out there.
Nobody complained about a gay love story on TV. It wasn't like
Well, it's not
preachy.
TV.
It
It's
wasn't like
HBO.
this woke bullshit.
It's HBO.
That's still.
Oh, see, Taekwon saw complaints. There we go. Taekwon is like just the master of the internet at the moment.
That's fine, Taekwon. You're allowed to complain. But it was pretty much other than Taekwon, it was universally. Because like when like people do stuff, it's like, oh, you're just pandering to the choir.
But like, no, it's part of the source material. He's gay in the source material. Like,
well, there is that, but it's not pandering because it's just well done. Like, they call it pandering when it's bad.
Yeah.
Because like when it is bad,
it's probably really bad. But like, no, but like it's like that's what in Marvel stuff people are always pissed at. Like, oh, we're not doing things like the source material because like number one, that's not the point. But like. If they do reference the source material and then they just add on to the fact that he is a gay character, we're not going to make him straight for purposes of like trying to acquiesce to somebody, then no, that's good writing, regardless. Like he's gay, deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's not like they didn't. The shows that do it best, like they don't call attention to it. It's just like he's gay.
It's
like
part of
it's normal.
Yeah.
Like it's normal because it's
normal. Yeah.
Normal. like if there's a gay kid at school, you don't just like. You don't applaud him, right? You say you go about science class.
Yeah, there was a show on Showtime called United States of Terror, and it dealt with the woman and the family. Well, the woman had multiple personalities, and they did it in a comedic way, but also they had a son who ended up being gay, and it was like probably the greatest representation that I've seen of just how a parent should react to their kid when he comes out. So like. You kind of had a hint that he might have been gay, but he never says it. So at one point, he's in the kitchen. The son is in the kitchen with the father. And the father, and he goes, "Dad, I'm gay." And he looks at his son and he goes, "Okay, so what do you want for dinner?"
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I'm not gonna lie though, if my son's gay and he's not good at baseball, I'm gonna be like, all right.
So you got a gold mine here, son.
It's just gonna be all right. All right. I'm not upset. I'm not disappointed. I'm just all right. Now if my daughter's gay, I'm like, thank God.
Don't have to deal with other guys.
My daughter's gay, we can give her a big hug and a kiss on the lips. In case what you're missing. It's gonna be a celebration. We're getting Wendy's tonight. You want to fuck the Wendy's girl? You can fuck the Wendy's girl.
God. Guys, wait a minute. Wait on, Saquon, hold on. You said Disney's doing a Star Wars drag show. Semi-intrigued. I know we should probably tell K-Viz at some point. K might also know.
Greedo and drag, please.
I'm interested to see how they do Star Wars drag. That'd be really funny.
I don't know.
I just want to see the creativity. Steven
It's gonna be very
Steven
creative.
Universe had great LGBT representation. Did it really? I never watched Steven Universe. I heard good things about the show.
God, the kids are gonna get a whole new definition of lightsaber. That's for sure. I mean, say what you want about kids and drag shows. I would rather send my kid to a drag show than a church.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's just say one has a better track record than the other.
Have you ever been to a drag show, Will, or not?
He went to a drag show.
Well, yeah, but like, did you ever like we stumbled upon a drag show?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, but like, if Jazz was like, "Do you want to go?" I'd be like, "Sure,
Yeah,
let's go."
more so like, did you go to a drag show with the intent of going out to a drag show? Okay.
No, but I totally would. They're fucking
Yeah,
fun.
no, I went to.
Now, if my friends asked me, I'd be a little concerned. I'd be like, do you guys want to go? Are you sure? But like, if Jazz asked me, or like whatever, like if Kay asked me, or if it's just like, you know, my gay friends from college at the time asked me, I'd be like, yeah, sure, let's go. You know, whatever. But if my straight friends asked me, I'd be like, well,
Why are we going to a drag show? I get why you'd be like, hey, why are we doing? Like, is there good food there or something? Like, what are we?
Like, I mean, there's other things we can do. Like, that's more like our crowd. Like, if an appropriate member from that crowd asked me to go, I'd go.
At Towson when I was there, the drag show was one of the biggest events on campus. It was like a sold out crowd. I went multiple times. It was such a great time.
Yeah, they're fun.
And what was cool about our drag show was that alumnus of the university who became professional drag queens came back and did the show.
That's cool.
So it was like a huge thing, and it wasn't just like the LGBT community. It was a big show for the campus.
Remember, single ladies love it. Single straight ladies fucking love drag shows.
Also very true.
It's just like, why wouldn't you go to drag? There's women there. Like, what do you?
FAU. Oh, because
like, not only there's women there. There's women that feel safe there.
Yeah.
All right. Even better.
Even better. Yeah.
I'll one up
Yeah.
you.
Oh, Florida Atlantic has a drag show as part of Homecoming. That's got to be absolutely wild.
That
must be absolutely a cool time. By the way, Taquan, you're in your second semester of college. How have you adapted so far?
Yeah, how are your grades?
I do want to know that as well.
That freshman begins with an F for a reason.
Yeah, after my first semester in college, my dad was not happy with me. I was like, I'll adjust.
Yeah, my dad was like, "You want to keep that scholarship, right?" I was like, "Hey, Dad, we just found out I took a course that, according to my IEP, I shouldn't have been taking. So I have an excuse for the years, and I used it almost every semester."
Nice. Yeah. No, I got it together after. I was like, yeah, whatever. I had a lot of freedom. It's great. Wait a sec. Taquan says it's great. I have all A's so far. Also, a reminder, a sophomore. I completed my freshman in high school. Oh yeah, you're a smart kid.
Well, put it this way: my core classes, which is like what I was going to college for, my GPA was a 3.5.
Yeah.
My overall GPA was a 2.9.
No, I played that card too. That's how I got into grad school at Hofstra.
I was like, yeah, my GPA is low because all these bullshit classes you're forcing me to take.
Luckily for me, when I was in college, we had like a catalog where we had different categories that we had to complete for our gen eds, but like we could choose what class it was. It wasn't like
No, like we had to take a science class. Right, it was geology or astrology, astronomy, not astrology. That's not real. And it's like, do you want to choose the rocks or the stars? And I was like, well, the stars are interesting, but I've heard the stars are hard. I'll go with the rocks.
Astronomy is a very complicated thing, especially if you follow some stuff on social media sites where they talk about like the craziness of the universe. It'll blow your fucking mind.
Yeah, it's star patterns and like words in Latin. Like, no thanks. It's even more confusing because it's in Latin because the Greeks named them.
Yeah, and also like there's really massive lengths of really massive units of length.
Yeah, like you know how Italians have vowels for no reason. Yeah, the Greeks have consonants for no reason. That's way more complicated.
Oh my god, no, yeah, Taquan. Even though you are you're trying to bang this Haitian girl, we just text and shit talk each other every day. That's good. Keep that going, Taquan. Keep it going. Keep
Cross that line.
Keep the communication open. But Taquan, I know you're like a sophomore in college now, but stay the 4 years. Honestly, Taquan, stay as long as your ass can.
Depends on your financial situation.
Very true, but like, don't go out into the real world. It's a trap.
It really is a fucking trap, dude. Like, you realize, wow, college didn't teach me anything about the real world. It taught me school. Like,
It's
it was just high school for 4 more years with better friends
and you kind of have to learn on your own. But what is it?
and ass.
Yeah.
There was ass too, which is pretty cool.
Taquan's taken video production, media criticism, fundamentals of 3D computer animation, and history theory of computer animation this semester. Taquan, you need to hire Taquan when he gets out of college.
Dude, I know, dude. Once I have the money, I'll hire him. This kid's gonna be fucking smart.
Yeah.
Taquan, what do you think of ChatGPT? Has ChatGPT invaded your campus?
Didn't you tell me it got like a B on something?
I got a B on an MBA. I got a B- on an MBA exam.
That's not passing, is it?
That is
Oh,
passing.
works for me then. Fuck it.
Yeah. If you got a C, C+ wouldn't have passed, but a B- passes.
Okay.
So, but like honestly, like, because kids are using it to cheat on essays.
Yeah.
Professors are whipping up the syllabus and going, "We're gonna have oral examinations now," which I go, "That's good."
Yeah.
Because just writing an essay doesn't mean you know something. If you can explain it orally and like converse it and teach kids how to think for themselves, not just write a fucking essay. Like,
there is
good.
something to being able to express it in words, because like the written language is different from the spoken language.
It teaches you how to write, which is very
Yeah.
useful. But in the modern world, being able to speak is way more important than being able to write, because people don't
Being
read.
able to comprehend, yes.
Yes, like being able to convey a point through words. Because how do you converse more with people? Via word or via, I guess, email?
Email usually.
Well, email usually, but like email is very basic communication. Like if you're trying to break down something complex and actually discuss something, like if you have a problem at work, like if you got a solve a problem at work, is it better written or is it better verbally communicated?
Depends on the problem.
Okay, that's fair.
Because like sometimes I have to, like, if I have an issue, like, because I'm QI, so if I have an issue with a document or a form or something, I'm going to obviously address it to the appropriate people via email, but then I'm going to have to show proof, like, hey, here's the problem I found. Or try to be like, all right, if you go this way, and show them that I've replicated the issue multiple times.
Well, that's showing data.
Yeah.
All right, so you're accompanying words with data.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Whereas me, like if I have a problem in like a video in a control room, like I gotta show someone on the computer how to fix it and then verbally explain it to them.
Yeah.
Like that's an email. That's gonna be completely lost.
Yeah.
So
No.
I think it's good that like kids can just actually not just write to an exam or write to a test. They gotta actually prove they know something. It's just a new way of teaching, which I think is good.
It's a older way of teaching. I think also depends on the student. Yeah, because I when I was in grade school, I had to do some oral exams, and proved that I knew what I was, or had a general knowledge of it. But I can see how that can be difficult for some people, because it just people communicate effectively in different forms. There's different ways of communicating that something.
No, 100%.
So I think especially in this day and age, I think to have a really good class, you may need to vary the types of tests that you give people. Like oral exams, written exams, presentations, things like that.
I think all of that is good, because the curriculum from school, it's just education is made to pass a test.
Correct.
It's not made to actually know something.
There was only a few classes that I took in college. I was like, okay, this would be good for the real world.
Yeah, media and the law. Mm-hmm. It was my favorite class at Hofstra because it was actually useful.
Yeah, I took. Yeah.
It's like, hey, here's your degree being used in the real world where there's conflict and there's no correct answer, because the answer is always, well, it depends.
Yeah.
Which is a great answer to a question.
Because then you can elaborate off of it.
Right, because it's especially in law, with First Amendment law specifically, it depends is always the answer, as it should be, because it's First Amendment.
Yeah. I know for me, that's why I went to grad school, because like, for essentially my psych degree in undergrad was like just theory, and grad school is application. Yes. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, it's like, my boss is doing she's finishing up grad school this semester at Rutgers. And I forget what kind of like money and finance she's doing, but she had to write a 50-page thesis on pretty much the complexities of like tech companies or social media companies trying to use the First Amendment on a globalized scale.
That's a rough paper.
It's essentially the complexities of globalization of the First Amendment in business.
And social. Wow. That's a lot.
Which is a lot. Well, because she did a lot of research on Europe, who values privacy over free speech because of all the wars they fought.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, Europeans are very, very big on privacy, whereas the U.S. it's just like, what's that?
Yeah.
So it's like you can't have globalization of the free speech because each country has different
free speech laws.
Different laws and values, but when I said to her, she's like, you can't have that opinion. You can't give an opinion on this paper. Like, it's got to be very factual and granular.
Yeah, but like this country has this law, so the tech company has to adjust this way.
Right, which is as it should be. Like, and my whole thing was like, listen, if we have globalization of the First Amendment, who's going to enforce that? Us? Who are we?
Yeah, we can't.
We can't enforce our own laws on our own people.
Yeah.
And we've tried enforcing our laws in other countries. We have 20 years of Afghanistan and 30 years of Vietnam.
Yeah, those turned out well.
and we got another 15 years in Ukraine right now, at least. So we're not very good at globalization. And what ruins every single empire ever? Globalization.
Yeah.
What ruined Rome? Globalization. What ruined Nazi Germany? Well, invading Russia, which is globalization.
Yeah. No, one of the best courses I took that had a really real world application was besides philosophy, because philosophy was fucking great. So we just argued the whole time.
Yes, it's great. And you're really good at arguing.
I took it from philosophy.
Really good at it. It's annoying. It's really annoying how good you are at arguing.
Well, it was philosophy, and then mixed with, because I also knew a philosophy major at Hofstra, and then also there's a way of thinking when you are a mental health counselor and in just the mental health field, that you kind of have to play the devil's advocate to your own argument as well.
Absolutely.
So it's just that people hate arguing with me because I know your side because I played it in my head already.
and you at times you take their side.
Yeah.
Right. Which what you have to do, because how can you prove them wrong if you don't understand them?
Exactly. And there's also other ways, like you have to know your own biases and all of that stuff as well.
Yeah. You gotta be self-aware.
Yeah, very self-aware. I'm like fucking Skynet sometimes. It's really gross. But I took this business.
It's very manipulative.
if used the wrong way, yes. But I took this business course because I was going for it was this weird machination of a minor called Business Communications Liberal Arts. I was like, okay, I got to do something outside of psychology just in case. I need to know basic business principles if I'm going to do something. And I didn't get that minor because I'm really bad at accounting, but a lot of people are. So anyway, I took this business course where the teacher, it was pretty much like preparing you for like job placement in the world. And the teacher was like, your grade is your currency. Like he's like, this class is a job. Your grade is your value, essentially. Like if you do really well, you're gonna get an A. You don't.
Remember, women, you earn 74 cents to the dollar.
Yeah. like you don't show up. You're gonna do bad. And he's like, and he was very strict. He's like, there are no cell phones in my class at all. He's like, if I hear your phone go off once, you lose a letter grade on your final grade.
That's aggressive.
Yeah, it was very aggressive, but he was good. This dude was wildly connected. So he's like, I know you guys have essentially varying majors. He's like, he made us one of the projects was number one. You have to. He gave us a real world crisis, and you had to develop a crisis plan, like a crisis plan and response.
What was your crisis? Do you remember?
It had to do, I think it was like the whales at SeaWorld or something like that.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love talking to him because I took a debate class. Mm-hmm. It was like freeform debate or something.
I took a debate class too.
Where you had to go up in front of the class and present an argument and like with site and source and everything, and on a conflict. So I chose, because this was in college. This was when Blackfish came out.
Okay.
So there was Blackfish came out, and then Joe Rogan had Phil Demers on the podcast 2 or 3 times at that point. Phil Demers is He was in the Canadian SeaWorld, and he's been like a decade-long lawsuit with them.
Damn.
Because of how they mistreat their animals, specifically like the sea walruses.
Yeah.
So, which I think he ended up winning eventually, but he went bankrupt for it because it's fucking corruption.
Yeah.
But the topic I chose was the ethics behind these animals in captivity. I went off Blackfish saying like how intelligent they are, and then Phil Demers' experience for how fucking corrupt the industry is.
Gotcha.
So I wiped the floor with that debate.
Yeah.
You're not debating against anybody, but like you present your case, like you read your paper, you read your statement, and then the class is supposed to kind of pick apart your argument. You answer questions based on the class.
That's a great way of doing it. That's pretty.
Yeah,
dope.
the teacher was really really good, and she was really really smart.
Yeah, no,
and she loved smoking weed.
yeah.
So
that was one part. Our big assignment in the class. He was like, he goes, I want you to legitimately. He took us through a job finding process. So he's like, I want you to research a legitimate job that you would go for, a job internship that you would go for either during college or after college that's related to what you want to do with the rest of your life. He made us do full research on it, find out all the information on the job, create a cover letter, create a resume, and then he brought in all of his friends from the real business world in, and they gave us fake interviews.
God, that's the most helpful class to call. That's what college
And
should
you know
be.
what it was, and you know how he did. He goes, we had a class about how to dress for the interview, how to provide a proper handshake, because we all had to wait outside of the classroom like interview day, and someone random would call you in. He goes, you are graded as soon as you shake that person's hand.
As soon as you walk in the door. Yeah, you better be in a
Yeah,
suit.
exactly. He was like, you are dressed properly. And like he forced us to also provide questions to the interviewer. Granted, these people weren't from the actual jobs, but like they had to. He was like, you have to ask a question to show that you've done research on the place that you want to, like, work for.
Yeah, dude. If you go into an interview and don't ask questions,
and you're not prepared,
like
yeah,
good questions.
exactly, yeah.
Like a question I would always ask is, why is this position available?
Yeah.
How did this position become open?
Yeah, it was a crazy class because my friend, like, the next semester wanted to take it. He was like, give me some reasons. I was like, you're going to hate this man with a burning passion. Like, he is going to he's going to push all your buttons. But
looking back, he's
going to be one of your favorite teachers. Yeah.
Yeah, looking back, he's going to be your favorite.
Another.
See, that's like so much more useful than like even like a film theory class. Like I'd take a few fucking bullshit film classes.
The arts are very big on history. A lot of the arts are. And then another class I thought was really beneficial. I took a persuasion class.
Oh God.
That's a wild class. We had the governor of Maryland come and teach a class one day, which was nuts in and of itself, or the former governor. But the big thing for that class, he's like, you have one assignment for this class. Essentially, it was the seminal assignment. You had to find a real news article or an article in a magazine newspaper, and you had to flip it.
What do you mean flip it?
Like, take what the article was trying to say and write it in the opposite way.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, that's not hard. You just go to Fox News and go to CNN and just
do the opposite.
Pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just pick one.
It's harder than you think, actually. But no, that.
Okay, sorry. Go to news next then.
But yeah, no, that's how I learned about persuasion and flipping and spin and stuff. Because we talked about how.
I do love spinning stories.
But we talked about how it's used in a bunch of different professions.
Well, it's used everywhere.
And that.
Yeah, how can you spin it? I didn't cheat on you, babe. My dick's licked.
Yeah. So, like, we talked about it in, like, the mental health world and all this other stuff. And so, like, his classes, we weren't writing stuff. We were literally just having discussions in a lecture hall. So, those are two of the big ones. They weren't related to my major at all.
Well, it's actually useful. It's super useful.
And so I was like, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. So, I'm proud of myself having the wherewithal midway through college to be like, I need some other stuff. Like, I took micro and macro economics too. Just.
Well, I'm thinking back to. I don't think when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, I didn't have the wherewithal to know what kind of classes I should have been taking to help prepare me for the real world. like other than like my core classes.
Yeah.
Like the classes I could have chose, I didn't think to do the research. I was just trying to do like easier classes to keep my GPA up.
Fair
like,
enough.
That's where like a college advisor is so important.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they should be telling you, hey man, like this is a class you should be taking. Like that class to teach you about interviews and job. Like everyone should take that class.
Yeah, I wish that was a required course for everybody because it was so beneficial.
Yeah,
because I knew how to.
I wish I took a basic business course.
Yeah, because like I knew coming out of that class, I knew how to write a resume. Because like he was meticulous, like down to like the amount of white space and blank space you had in a resume was also very crucial and important.
That's probably not the answer's probably not what I think it is either.
You got to have a healthy balance.
That's what I mean. Like you don't have a word salad,
but you don't
want it to be just bullet points
exactly.
Either. I should send you my resume, see what you think of it.
I'm not the greatest at it, but I can give you just a general thing, and that's how I developed like my resume style. Because like he was like, let's be honest, everybody has a different style of writing a resume. It's about the information you do, and it's about how you word your resume too.
Well, nowadays it's so different because like if you're applying to a job at like a big company, like say it's BuzzFeed,
yeah,
right? There's a new like associate editor role open. You can have hundreds of people apply for that job.
Yeah, what makes your resume stand out? Yeah.
It's not that.
Oh, it's the computers. The computers go through it.
The first step is tricking the algorithm.
Yeah, the computers go through it and do a yes or no.
Yeah, so you don't. There's like a very slim chance your resume even gets seen by eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So what you got when it comes to resume building now, like the class you took is probably way different now for resume building than it is when you took it, because nowadays I would tell a student, go into the job description, take as many of the keywords as you can and put them in your resume.
Mm-hmm.
As many of the roles and responsibilities. Put those in your like job, like
what you did before,
previous experience. But
a big thing now is also highlighting your accomplishments. Like, don't highlight your job descriptions, your past job. Highlight the stuff you did in the past job.
Yeah, the accomplishments. Yeah. So like for it's 2023 and I updated my resume because you should every year. I put for my job. I put I asked my the digital team how many interviews did we do last year? Just curious. So they told me. So I put in my resume. For this part of my this part of my job, we produced over 1,400 pieces of content. That's a real number. Over 1,400 pieces of content. And then over Christmas break, I went to my podcast. How many pieces of content I prepared for my podcast? It was about I forget. I think it was like another 1,000, let's say.
Yeah.
So even for that, I put on my resume. Create 1,000 pieces of content, including this, and that for Talking Retire Shock podcast.
Yeah.
Actually, I included Kings of Drinks too.
As well, you should. We're weekly. Including
all of my podcasts, producing this amount of pieces of content, bringing my total to 2,400 for the year.
There you go.
Like that's an accomplishment. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. No, it's great stuff. It's good shit, as Vince McMahon would say.
Yeah.
So no, you always have to do your comments. I'm a big fan of keeping a master resume, and then because you have to mold your resume to the job that you want.
Yeah.
And just picking and choosing the stuff you put on there. Because after a while, once you're in the field long enough, you're educated. No one gives a shit about your education. Like, I used my education for a little bit, and then after a while, it's like, all right, you've been in the field for, 7 years now? The fuck have you done?
No, your education, if it's...
when you're first out of it.
Not even. It only matters if it's Ivy League.
Yeah. It's all about experience and internships and all that.
Like, not gonna lie, no one's gonna give a fuck I went to Hofstra University unless they also went to Hofstra University.
The Hofstra University.
Or like their spouse, or like their friend, or they know someone who also went to Hofstra University. No one cares. But it's like, oh, Harvard. Like there's jobs like I think Jad's trying to get into VC. There's jobs out there in VC where it's like if you didn't go to Harvard, you just can go fuck off. Don't even bother applying.
Yeah.
The shocker, people with money like to keep all their money with people who have money.
Who knew?
Who'd have thought that?
Oh my God!
Actually, you would be interested in her master's because she's getting her master's this year in she's graduating like soon. Behavioral economics.
Whew. That's a great field.
It's an emerging field too. So what she wants to do is
because you're studying behavior to see how you can make people buy more shit.
Not only that, she wants to do VC, so venture capital, which is they give business money. So they're gonna hire her to pretty much diagnose the company they want to invest in to see what their customers are like. So her job is going to be to diagnose how a company that they're going to invest in spends money, how their customers spend money, and if it's worth for them investing in based off their numbers.
That's a huge market.
It's very valuable.
Yeah,
Plus she has a journalism background, which is even different in VC, which is very much sought after.
Yeah, no, that's great tools to have.
That bitch is fucking smart, dude. I should have done that.
You just got to be used to looking at a lot of data, which I know you are. It's just
not me. I don't look at numbers.
It's one of those things about like looking at data and also making sure that you know and how to interpret the data. Like my big thing the past couple of months has been I'm becoming more and more attuned to Excel because I have to create forms and data and percentage points and showing trends. I've been doing trend reports recently too because we're in the new year and I got to look at last year. And we're preparing for a state audit actually as well.
Oh, that sucks.
Trust me, I've dealt with it before.
That's like a yearly thing. You gotta do it once a year.
No, with the state's governing body, the Office of Mental Health, it's every 3 years. Okay. I just came in a year before, so that's where a lot of my field work is going. Because they're like, all right, we need you to go look at all of these houses. I'm like, okay, that's wrong. There's a fly on the wall, like, and I just. Or like fix this.
You guys are government funded?
Mm-hmm. Office of Mental Health. We're big on Medicaid, so thank God for not cutting it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, don't fucking cut Medicaid. Like what? What's your 5-year plan? Don't die. Like, be like, okay, like, hey, Biden's been like, bro, I'm like 90,000 years old. I need Medicaid. I'm the president. Half of Congress needs Medicaid.
Yeah, no. So the way that New York State works a lot of the time is that because they're very after Pilgrim Psychiatric Center and the good and the bad with that, they pretty much outsource to non-for-profit more private agencies. The government just funds them and regulates them via the New York State Office of Mental Health. And most of that money is from Medicaid. It's Medicaid-based money.
That seems like it makes sense on paper.
It does. And essentially, that's why my job exists, is quality improvement. Because if the state comes in and is like, oh, this place is shit, we're not going to give you as much money.
Right.
So I hold a lot of weights, because...
So much power.
It's great because I'm just like, hey, this needs to be done. Oh, you didn't do it? Well, you're fucked. I tried to warn you.
Like my hands are tied, all right? Catherine holds up my ass.
Yeah,
Katie or Catherine?
Who?
Governor of New York.
Oh, Kathy Hochul.
Kathy Hochul. Catherine.
It might be full name Catherine, but I know it's Kathy Hochul. She's Governor Kathy Hochul.
She's fucking crazy.
So, she seems like she has a great smile. I don't know. I don't worry about her because I just worry about what does OMH say. And luckily for me, I've been on retreats with some of the people at OMH, and they're pretty cool guys. They're pretty down to earth. They're a lot more lenient than this other agency. So there's the Office of Mental Health, which is just general mental health, a lot of people who can function on their own. Then New York State developed the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities. These are people who, have a lot of neurodivergent is a new key term. Disorders, people who have mental issues.
Is this the book?
No, that's the DSM.
Yeah.
The DSM is for generalized mental disorder. These are people with developmental disabilities, so a lot of people who don't have great IQs, essentially.
We used to call them stupid.
Yes, things like that. Yeah, and so they
stupid used to be a medical term.
So is being gay. That was in the DSM-3. Being gay was a mental disorder in.
Oh my God, I forgot that. That's right. I totally forgot.
That was less than 30 years, almost 30 years ago. No, more than 30 years ago, but still, it was there.
Mental disorder.
Being homosexual was a diagnosable mental illness, apparently. We've come a really long way with mental health, let me tell you. There's still a long ways to go. But OPWDD is hella strict. So OMH goes with the basis of they're capable of doing anything, and if we need to restrict them, we will. Where OPWDD stance is complete opposite, where they are incapable of doing anything, so we have to test them to see what they're capable of doing. and restrict them from everything else. And so those OPWDD residences and their governing body, they are absurdly strict. As in, like, the government will come to do an audit on them at 6 in the morning to, like, check out a house. Yeah, they were like, haha, we're here. Because the OPWDD does their, like, site visits and audits on a year basis. Starting in, like, October. It goes from October to, like, it ends in, like, the next October. That's how they cycle. It's crazy. I've dealt with both. I love OMH a lot more. They're a lot more lenient. OPWDD is crazy strict. For the dumbest shit, too. And it's really funny because there were talks of them. They were supposed to merger. But it's never going to happen. It's... Smiley, I told Smiley that I told you that she was going to come on. She goes, oh, damn, now I got to go watch his reaction.
Very excited.
On that note, let's get the fuck out of here.
I got to take a leak, and Jazz wants to watch TV, so.
Oh, sorry, Jazz.
I got to go do things.
It shows uploading all that hot shit?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, till next week, folks. Elimination Chamber, and Smiley will be here.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Fuck you, Slack. Bye.